ALTBAYS.
Hello, welcome to ALTBAYS Show. I am your host tonight, Fabian Roberts, and I'm here. Welcome to the live stream, or if you're watching later in a period of time because you have a life tonight, that's fine too. Welcome. I've had my nervous wheeze and I'm ready to go. First off, thank you for joining us on YouTube. It's our #1 place to hit subscribe. Yes, we have over 1,000 subscribers. That's pretty cool, I think. What I did notice though is the ALTBAYS clips, which is the more narrow, smaller clips if you have a shorter attention span. If you only like to listen to things you like to listen to and enjoy your bubble, subscribe to ALTBAYS clips and you'll find things to your taste there. Hit the bell, remember, subscribe, make sure you're logged into your Google as well, that's important. That's a lot of jargon. We are live Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 7 p.m.-ish, sometimes earlier, sometimes later, but really it's 7 p.m. If you're listening to us right now, we're in a beautiful space with beautiful people, having a beautiful drink, and it's beautiful and nice. ALTBAYS.nz, we're a media production platform, place. They can film stuff, take photos of stuff. They've got a green screen. It's legit. Anyway, tonight, we're going to do some cool chats, find out some cool stuff, and talk to some cool people. The antithesis of that, Brett Soanes, how are you?
Holy shit, that was a good intro, man.
Whew.
Wow.
I've never done an intro before. It's quite fun.
Pretty impressed. Yeah.
Very.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
I heard you've had a bad head for a while. What's up with that?
Oh, I've had a headache, for 6 weeks. Probably or longer.
Is it a world?
He's still been on the tools.
A fitty record, I reckon.
I had one day off.
Yeah.
So that I could go to the doctor.
Tradie life, man.
So what tools are you working with?
At the moment, knife and trowel plastering.
Hey.
Sexy. Have you heard a beautiful voice coming across the ways?
Have I?
Yeah, just a beautiful voice coming through my headphones across there in a green hoodie. I believe it's Johnny from Johnny's.
Oh.
How you doing?
Yeah, kia ora everyone. Thanks for having me on the show, and
Kia ora.
I'm doing great.
Yeah? And you've just drone up from Tairua, yeah?
Yeah. Boosted over the hill.
Slippery
in
roads.
record time. Never run late.
Record time exactly at the speed limit, of course.
Oh,
You're
of
a
course,
safe driver.
mate. Yep, no, very, very defensive driving course back in the day, obviously. So that's kept
Speaking
me,
of elite,
never had a crash so far. A couple of little misdemeanors, but no.
What's that?
sorry, I thought you were taking a breath. No, speaking of, I was reading that they're going to change the speed limits to 80k. Is that accurate? Have you guys read that?
Probably not in the 50 zones though, right?
No, not in the 50 zones.
Where are they changing 80k?
The State Highway 25, I was reading.
Well, they spin out under 80k's on the Kopu coming down that hill. I've heard of guys. I was only doing 60 and 360 down the bank. Woo, later bolt.
Oh, that's terrifying. You want good tyres though.
Yeah, keep a good eye on your tyres, Brett? Yeah, especially if you're a tradie, you're
those
in and
commercials.
out early in the morning, those icy roads.
Do you do the old finger dig once in a while into your tread just to get a groove? You go, oh yeah, a fingernail, half a fingernail, 2/3 of a fingernail, that's enough, right?
Yeah, back in the day when we were a bit, under the gun, bit of an old car, we used to do that a lot, but
It's the worst bit is when you
now.
can feel it and it's just perfectly in line with your fingertip. It's probably a bit bald, isn't it?
Well, if you feel, look at that bar, if you can feel, if the bar is below the level, like, that, what I mean by that bar, right? It's a little triangle that points up to it, a little arrow that points up to it, and then you run your, as long as it's not smooth, if it's got a bit of a dip,
And then they give you that,
it's legal.
the coloured lines come out as well once you get bald enough, don't they? If you can
and
see those lines.
the steel comes out when you get real bald.
When there's a hole,
That's
it's,
racing
it's pretty
slick.
bad.
yeah, it's with the steel, it's no deal. You're in for a new.
I
Go
love that.
see the local tyre guys. Support local.
Oh, I love this. Go local. Now, you're a local man. You said Tairua, is that born and raised?
Yep. No, I was obviously born in Thames because that's where the hospital is. But yeah,
I was
to know.
born in Thames
Tairua,
too.
born and raised. So yeah, what a place to grow up in, the Coromandel.
What was it like?
Very
Because
lucky.
you're 30 years old, right? So what was it like, I suppose, 25 years ago when you have memories? What was it like?
Yeah, so obviously a lot of gravel roads, especially I remember biking up to school there. I'd come down that hill quite fast on the gravel, and you know what that's like on a bike when you're a bit young. You just
Get some stones in your knees.
a few of those. So
I
but
can't say I've ever
jumping
been
off
that
the
adventurous.
bridge, fishing, all that stuff. Yeah, really really awesome
Was it a
upbringing in
one-way
Tairua.
bridge 25 years ago? Or was it like an 8-lane bridge and they've narrowed it since?
Yeah, they decided to narrow it because it's so you don't have to wait long there in summer.
Yeah.
You know, you're only ever waiting 5 minutes either way. So,
Single-lane bridge is all you need.
but nah, yeah, she's a bit of a wait. Eh? We've all been there.
And you went to school there, yeah, all the way through?
Yeah, so obviously Tairua's a primary school, so yeah, right through
Where'd you
till
go to?
year 8, and then Tairua school.
And then when you go to?
Yeah, so then I headed off to boarding school in Hamilton. Yeah,
Oh,
so
jeez, they sent you away.
yeah, mum and dad, you know, I was a bit mischief and used to sneak out and go fishing and stuff like that, you know, past the bedtime. So
What boarding school?
sent me off to St Paul's, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
St Paul's Collegiate. So
Is
yeah,
that on the
good.
way to Cambridge? Is that the one out there?
So that's actually
that's
St. Peter's. So
that's St.
yeah,
Peter's.
they were our rival, you know.
Yeah.
You're not is Peach Grove Road, is it off that? St. Paul's?
Hukanui.
Hukanui, right out there.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah.
nah,
It's a
awesome
nice
school,
school.
St.
They
Paul's.
Catholics,
Really
eh?
enjoyed it.
Catholics?
Anglican.
Oh,
yeah.
Anglican.
So yeah, we'd have chapel
Those are
twice a
enemies.
week, and oh, we got no enemies here, man. We're all friendly, but nah, Anglican,
enemies.
Catholic, whatever. We all, you know, it was great, you know, going to a school like that and experiencing such a
Did you
high
do
level.
year 10 camp? Did you go
academics.
out and do the year 10 experience?
Yeah, I went to Tihauy. Oh my god,
Because
yeah.
they stopped Tihauy at one
Awesome
point.
experience, eh?
Can you tell me a bit about that? Because that is, I was so jealous when I found
Yep.
out that was a thing at the time. You know about Tihauy?
No idea what you're talking about.
So it's an outdoor
Set the
venture
scene.
I don't
school.
even know what year 10
So
is.
St. Paul's owns the, it's called Tihauy Venture School, and it's like an outdoor camp. So in your year 10 year, fourth form,
yeah.
you do each part of the fourth form, do half the year down and half stay at the school. And then you do second intake, half you go down. So I did the second intake, and yeah, 80 you in a little cabin. Yeah, times were tough. We cooked our own food. They'd give us a package. We lit the fire to cook the food. Did a lot of outdoor weekends. It was awesome. Really loved it, and yeah, you would have too.
I would have loved to have gone. But so, so how did it start off? Because what, they take you in a bus or a minivan? Hi guys, you're going away. Was it 6 months at a time, or were you only there for like 2 months? Come home. How did that work?
Yeah, so we're actually there for quite long stints. So in the term 1 and 2, we'd go home once.
Oh.
So the first stint, we're away from mum and dad for a long time. So a few people got homesick. Obviously us boarders, because we'd already done the year 9 year. We were
course.
used to it, and
We
But,
don't even remember our parents anyway.
You guys are veterans.
oh yeah, mum and dad, I'd tell them to send packages. You weren't allowed like any chocolate or those. I was like, mum, put it in my socks.
So
No.
where exactly was that?
So it's down by Mangakino, and it's actually
okay.
the place is called Tihauy, the town Tihauy, and it's actually an old miners' village. A lot of Māori history there too.
Is it on the river?
Yeah, there's a Huruhurumaku River runs through Tihauy.
Ah.
And Tihauy was actually an old sawmills village, so there was old cabins there. Obviously, the school came in, bought the farm. It's right on the edge of the Puriora forest, so big forest.
I know where you are now.
And obviously, we did all our tramps there. We'd do, 3-day tramps. So the way it worked, 4 days schooling, 3 days outdoor weekend. We'd do either whitewater kayaking, rock climbing, tramping, other things as well. But it was actually, for me, it was quite intense still, even though I'd grown up in a, fishing, diving, all that stuff. It was still quite challenging. You know what rock climbing's like if you've ever done it. Abseiling off 80-foot cliffs. You can't imagine, the kids that hadn't experienced all that.
We should set one up at the
Intense
Coromandel.
activity.
That'd be quite a cool idea, wouldn't it? Go
It's
to the
awesome
Coromandel.
for kids, man. It did a lot for me in terms of my.
You probably learned more, eh?
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Should be just an all-round permanent thing that just you do every year,
Oh, it'd be great. Any kid that I could, I'd.
Did you know
definitely-
Daniel Wright?
Daniel Wright.
Dan Wright. His Jim Nissan was his dad. I think he went there for that year.
Oh,
He'd be
okay.
30
Sounds
now.
familiar, but yeah. Yes.
Came an IT nerd. Just thought
Is
about
that Jim
it.
Wright Nissan?
Jim Wright Nissan's son. He's my next door neighbour, Jim Wright. He bought their house off the Shersons, I think.
Oh, really?
Oh, yep. Yep. No, it rings a bell, but
Fancy
yeah.
schmancy.
I mean, yeah, anyone who got the privilege to go to Tihauy and.
Now, I heard some rumours about that trip. So if you're a year 10 boy, you're 14 or so years old, and they send you off for X amount of time by yourself like a pen and a paper or do reflection time?
Yep, and you get a letter that you
must
write
be
to yourself.
torture.
That I got a letter sent back to me when I was 21
Really?
that I wrote, and it's called a 48-hour solo. So basically, you walk up into the Puriora forest on a track, and they space you out, each person every couple hundred meters, and you just stay around your camp for 48 hours. Don't talk to anyone.
Huh.
Write a letter that they'll send back to you later on in life. I actually think there's one more to come. So they basically, you say, you know, like, what do you want to be doing? What kind of person do you want to be?
What did you say? Just like, eat shit,
Mine is,
bro.
I thought I would have written something like outrageous, but I actually just wrote like, you know, want to be a good guy and doing good in life and happy. So I was just, you know, but I'm sure, you know, the boys would have. But yeah, it was pretty intense. Like, I actually climbed up a tree, fell out of the bloody tree, landed, you know, it wasn't too high, but lucky, you know, I just got back to the camp. But it was just pretty, you know, you get a little bit bored. There's only so much food they give you.
There was no TikTok, no Snapchat.
Nah, man.
No
They used to
Netflix?
give us these little things called trangias to cook on, and they run on methylated
Butane
spirits or
or-
whatever, and you just light it, and it's like a steel pot that wraps up and goes in your bag. So, and they just give you rations, you know, so you got to cook your food on that. So, and you got to build your own hut, and there's a competition to build your bivvy. So that was quite cool.
All the schools should do that, eh?
It's pretty cool, but it's not cheap. It's expensive.
Yeah, well, lucky mum and dad, they work really hard, and actually, you know, it was a privilege for me to go there because they really worked hard and paid for all my schooling.
Was it 40 grand a year back in the day then?
Nah, so it was about 20k per year back when I was there. So
I could afford that.
yeah, and on my last year, I was just a day student as well. So I was living with family friends in Hamilton, and yeah.
Question: what's a day student? You mean you're enrolled for 1 day a week for classes?
Nah, I wish, but but more like so you're not in the boarding house. So
I see,
yeah, there's 3 boarding houses
you're a
at St.
grown-up.
Paul's. Yeah, but yeah, boarding school, man. It made you grow up quick, but it was also definitely good for staying on track. You know, you had really good people around you. Made a lot of lifelong friends. Yeah, as you guys know, going through those teenage years are really important of who you're around and who's mentoring you. And we were really lucky to have some amazing teachers and house-masters who had awesome stories and will share their knowledge. And yeah,
That is something I'd definitely like to take away from St. Paul's. Being able to be a housemaster at my school would be awesome. What a title.
Yeah.
I'm a housemaster, Roberts. That is badass.
yeah,
I used
man.
to love just getting my letters from the bank, you know, it would say Master Brett Soanes on it. I was like, yes, He-Man, Masters of the Universe. Carry on.
I quite like that term, master, because a lot of the kids at school don't know. It's like, morning, mister, or morning, master. And they're like, what are you saying? I was like, well, you know, mister, adult man, master is like a... Anyway, it's just a technicality.
Children.
But
bloody
yeah,
kids.
it's awesome. You know, getting out of the peninsula too and going experiencing a city. So
Is Hamilton a city?
yeah, it
Sure
definitely
is.
is.
That's
yeah,
where I grew up, yeah.
yeah, man. It's good. Like Hamilton's awesome. It's, you know, it isn't Auckland, it isn't Tauranga, but it's got its own thing going on. The rugby's
I agree,
good,
I like
which
it.
huge passion for footy. Played, love my footy. And
Did you play in the first 15 or that sort
yeah,
of stuff
so
through
I
school?
was lucky enough to be in the first 15 for 4 years, and so
4 years?
Yeah, I did 4 years. So
Jeez.
I'll spill the beans. I did a second year 7th, so I went back for another year. So I actually made the first 15 in 5th form, but did 5th, 6th, 7th form, and 8th form.
Yeah.
Did you
Needed a
just call
couple
it
of
eighth
credits.
form?
Needed a couple of credits,
You're a
mate.
year
You know
14
how it is.
student. Year 14 students. I love year 14s.
But hey, I was still flatting.
Was
when
it
I
worth going back?
8th form. I was flatting with the boys.
Was it
Hey,
worth
they were
going
at
back
uni.
for?
I was at
I'm
school.
curious.
Sorry?
Is it worth going back for?
Oh,
To get those extra
100%.
credits?
Don't. Yeah, 100%. Because I only had to do a small amount of classes. I didn't do all the classes each
No,
day.
I meant for your impact on like getting a job later on.
Yeah. Oh, nah. I just wanted to go back for
You
the
wanted to
footy.
play football, eh?
Obviously.
Yeah, fair enough.
And it was awesome. Like it was somewhere where I was actually gutted about leaving my school because I had so much the staff, the teachers, awesome people, people that, you know, till this day I, you know, admire how they taught and how they passed on their knowledge, especially with their sports. We had amazing teachers that had awesome sporting backgrounds. So, you know, to be coached, mentored by those guys and to go back and actually be able to, they wanted me to come back to do that second year, seventh. I actually really enjoyed it, and yeah, was lucky enough to captain the first 15 in my final year. And
your final year. Yeah.
Yeah, so
rugby. And you're one of the older boys in the team too, eh?
Well, luckily, you know, I'm born on the 1st of December, so I was 18, but I wasn't, you know.
Oh, yeah.
So I could still go to town.
I quite like
Outback
that.
got a hammering. The Outback was
oh,
man,
awesome.
what a place.
And, you know, like, you'd go there and you wouldn't remember getting home, but you got home and, yeah, the boys were...
Or you wake up in the gutter outside the Outback. Had that.
Why not? No.
It's strange you say that because I never enjoyed clubbing. Clubbing was awful. I hated it because I think I always had a girlfriend. And so what was the appeal? Like, just go home. It's a tenth of the cost. I don't have to walk anywhere. It's warm. There's no annoying people.
Well,
I hate people. I've always hated people, so it's been a great thing.
It's not for everyone. No, it's not for everyone. But you know, you go out there and you meet other
meet and greet.
There, you know, other fellas and other guys from other schools, and you have a beer and.
Did they do the foam parties? Was that? I think
I went to a few foam parties, mate, and the foam party was epic. Yeah, I always just enjoyed myself so much. You know, I'd always end up back home with boys.
Strike one.
Yeah,
I'm gonna hold you accountable to that.
What's a foam party?
Oh, mate, they set up these foam machines in the club, and honestly, you send it like full blown. They got jugs of beer everywhere.
You be walking between tables.
Those days are over now.
The foam is up above your waist.
Really?
It is foam city. Trying to walk outside.
Oh, bro,
has anyone died down in there?
I don't know.
Oh, I've pulled guys out of there, man. Like, it gets intense.
I could imagine getting lost in there and not being able to find your way out. Like, you know, when you see someone,
like,
when you see someone who can't swim,
you're blowing.
Yeah. And they're like, I can't touch the bottom.
I felt like, you know, I was drunk at the beach getting nailed by shore breakers when I was little or something, but turns out it's just a foam party.
It's fun.
They never had that when I was younger.
It was also that, well, that's because you're very old. Was the Outback even around? I suppose you were there during the Outback.
I was there at the
Hamilton was the Outback.
I was there at the inauguration.
No, one was not bad too.
The what, sorry?
Bahama Hut. Remember Bahama Hut?
101 had nice music sometimes.
Yeah, so...
Do you guys remember the karaoke bar that used to be there?
On the main street?
It was on the main street, but the original one was an L-shaped room. You walked in and then head around to the right was the whole stage. And then they were doing so well, they bought the premises on the other side of Victoria Street. But everyone walking past could see you, and I think it just crumbled.
Was it just a karaoke bar, or was it like Moose's?
I was there one night with the boys, and it was, she was a good night. Because we love singing, you know, all into our music.
I think I did Bohemian Rhapsody because I was very tokenistic those days.
It was actually a good shout going to that karaoke bar, because I went there with the boys, my boy Matt Donnelly, Joe Ferguson, Jared McDowell. We went down there, got on the sauce at their flat.
Yeah.
Went down there and we were just planning. Thanks for the beer, brother. Appreciate the other one. That one didn't last long. But yeah, anyway, so we went down to that karaoke bar you're talking about. And we all, you know, had an awesome night.
$3 shots.
Yeah, that's why we ended up
$3 shots.
Yeah, so it was good. Good, but definitely growing up now.
What's your karaoke song, by the way? What were you singing? What if you got on stage, what are you doing? You got 2 or 3 times over the whole night, $3 shots all night. What are you doing in between?
Destiny's Child.
Mad tipsy on stage.
No, I'd go a classic probably. It'd be like these days, saying like Wagon Wheel.
I've
little bit,
song.
You know.
I've still never heard it.
Still never heard it.
Never heard it. I've heard them talk about it on Radio Hodo.
Get it down south.
Wagon Wheel can suck it, man.
Thank you for that, Leo.
Bro, Wagon Wheel's a banger. Like, it's a recent banger though. But you know, more saying like, you know, you'd always be a little bit tipsy, so you'd go something off task, maybe. But Elton John.
Oh, what did you sing from Elton?
Candle in the Wind.
Yeah, why not?
Everyone wants that for karaoke. And it seems to me that you live your life like a candle in
What a
the wind.
song.
So if you want a depressing night at the karaoke night, absolutely. Candle in the wind.
I like
Maybe
that
we
song.
should turn Johnny's into a karaoke bar. Hey, like, you know, come in, because I'm actually a bit of a musician
Like
myself.
midday.
I just heard
midday
that.
Play
Very
guitar and
beautiful.
sing, so
Order a pizza and
While you wait. While you wait.
put a song
yeah,
on.
we'll bang out some tunes, you know.
You can get those pretty funky jukeboxes we set the karaoke, and those machines make the experience like a
Oh yeah,
like
Oh,
going to
like,
get
a
a beer
burger,
out of
like
it.
a Burger King. With the
Yes,
things,
like those, but
you
of
know?
course you could use it as a karaoke machine, so the disc goes in, but it's a karaoke track.
How do you buy those? How do you buy a song with no words?
You can buy, I think, subscriptions for people that make the karaoke tracks for you as close as possible.
Oh, so they'll just play the
Yeah,
song.
so you can buy the karaoke package, 15,000 songs, and you know 20 of them, sort of thing.
Oh, yeah. What are the
And then you
other?
load them in.
What are the other 19,980 songs?
Beautiful mathematics there.
It's only minus 20.
well, no.
Well, you get the B-sides, you get sort of...
B-sides.
Sorry, I'm talking records here.
Elton John B-sides.
Well, he had a lot of B-sides. You know, I've got a couple of Elton John records, and there's a lot of the songs I don't like. A lot of the songs I do. It's tricky.
I like a wide range of music. Like, you know, I never sort of stick to one sort of. So, you know, the old school stuff you grow up with your parents, and then obviously
Well, what did your parents
into your
listen
house
to?
bangers through the teens, and then you sort of come back out of that, and you know, but you know, Pearl Jam, the Chili's, all of that stuff, man. Like, how good, eh?
Yeah.
You know, we got some awesome musicians even in New Zealand now.
Beg your pardon?
I'm just not making any comments on.
I went
on
to the
Pearl Jam.
Warriors game.
Pearl Jam.
Warriors homecoming, how good. Like, it's hard being a Warriors supporter, don't get me wrong, but
I'm a Black Cap supporter. We've had a bit of a
Yeah,
revolution
hey.
lately, but before then, I know what you felt like.
you know, you stick by your team, your home side, and it was awesome. The other half, the partner bought us tickets, and me, her, and my daughter, Adia, went up, and to be there at the Warriors homecoming,
How'd
I
they
was
go?
touching on the music, actually, the halftime music.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I think actually Muroki, he's from around here.
Some,
He might have been on the show, I'm not sure. Awesome, man. Like,
he's from Raglan.
he is awesome, eh? Yeah. He did the halftime show, and wow, like I think he did 3 songs. You know, New Zealand music,
How was
LAB
the sound?
660, how
Because
good.
that's a big stage. It's a big space. How did the sound go?
It was full, man, and the sound was awesome. I was lucky to be pretty close. We were seated, and he sounded awesome. You know, you wouldn't pick him from a guy that's massive in the States, like, you know, Leon Bridges, one of those guys. You know, he's and the flow, like his songs and his lyrics. Local
and
music,
lyrics.
man.
You're
like,
looking at me like, who's Leon Bridges?
Yeah, who's Leon Bridges? I don't know.
oh,
Leon
he's
Bridges.
just someone random that hey Siri, play Leon Bridges.
Oh, we'll
you know
do it,
those
yeah.
little.
Do it.
Sorry, ALTBAYS don't have Siri. Siri's it's above our pay grade.
I do when I get home.
Oh, it worked.
Oh,
No, that was Hey Siri.
Did it work?
must
I
be
think it
your
was
phone.
someone's phone.
I don't
They
have an
probably
iPhone.
thought it was.
I'm
yeah.
surprised you've even got a phone, to be completely honest.
Anyway, yeah, the partner bought one of those little speakers that sits in the lounge room. So if I'm just doing the dishes and want a
Alexa?
song, I think it's an Apple one.
Oh, so it is Siri.
Yeah, it is Siri. Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, you can ask it anything, but sometimes with chatty go, but it's quick to chuck on a song, you know, where you're cleaning up, doing the vacuuming. As a good partner, I'm always cleaning the house.
You are a good
gonna say
partner.
that-
I'm helping sometimes now. This is it.
The sporting gig I've seen as being a really hard gig to do. You get the people that do it in the Super Bowl where they have the best sort of tech ever. But I watch cricket. I'm a big fan,
Yep.
huge fan of cricket. I watch all international games. I'm watching Sri Lanka, Pakistan at the moment. Pakistan hopefully are going to win. It'll be epic if they do right now in Sri
Yeah.
Lanka and Gaul. But the halftime show I saw once in Eden Park was the thrift shop guy. But the sound was
Macklemore?
awful. So I was like, I'm gonna pop, and he was there in his ridiculous costume, and there was no announcement. So all of a sudden, some guy just walked out, and there's one camera on him. We had no idea what was going on. This
They
guy in a big
should've-
shoot. It was awful. It was just a terrible gig, but he'd obviously made.
It's probably the cricket really put him
Macklemore
off.
sounds awesome. Like, I've listened to his music a lot, and you know, maybe he should have just been like, "Yo, this is Macklemore. This is my hit single." Boom. And then you would have been like, "Oh no, oh yeah, that's Macklemore."
It would have been good,
Yeah, he
but
probably
it's just,
should announce himself, or the host maybe, at least this is Macklemore.
Now, I want to rewind you back in time because you mentioned something. You glossed over it. You're a bit of a muso. Where's that come from? Where in your life?
So my dad was sort of in and out of bands through his, 30s, 40s. He
What's his
plays
name?
guitar. My dad, Phil Mason.
Phil Mason.
Yeah, so he's born and bred in Whangamata, moved to Tairua, I think not long before mum and dad popped me out. So
Mum mostly.
Yeah, mostly mum.
Well, he did some popping, he did some popping out
hey,
first.
settle down, cuz.
OMG, Mr. Soanes. Wash your mouth. Have a peanut.
But yeah, the old man played a bit of guitar, but the breaker was St. Paul's, so St. Paul's Collegiate, my high school, you had to take a music lesson. So obviously I chose guitar and learn a bit more, because obviously learning guitar when you're young, if you're not real naturally, it's quite hard to pick up. So it was more through my late teens, when I was 15, 16, 17, I really got into it and had a bit of a nasty rugby injury, got surgery, and then I was at home for a couple of months. So I just learned, basically self-taught myself in front of the computer on YouTube, doing lessons, because there's so many lessons on there. So it was like having a guitar teacher at home, and that's when I really stepped up that next level and then started playing in bars.
Do you remember your first big one? Your first song to be like, that was actually difficult.
So I played at a bar and restaurant at down in Tairua here. It was called... so it started off, it was right by the old dive shop where the big marina is now. It was called Ikamata, which means raw fish.
Selling,
Yeah, and a guy, Nico Roberts, and his mates, they started up, and he's an amazing chef, a local chef, used to be at the church in Hahe. So he was there, did really well. Then it got passed on to a lady, Kim, and she opened up the Cypress Tree, and they did pizza and a bit of an a la carte menu, had a cool outdoor area. They were into their live music. Old man used to play there a bit, so I got up, and yeah, like you said, it wasn't easy. But like today, when you haven't done your first podcast, you come on and it's like, heart's racing a bit.
You're doing a terrible job, so yeah, your next podcast will be a big step up. That's fine.
Yeah, man, terrible job's my middle name sometimes, but hey,
Hey, don't say that. Your food's great.
Yeah. Oh, so how you doing today? Oh, didn't have a great food. Your shop, because...
What were your songs?
It's been good.
What were your songs in that gig?
I think I just did something pretty basic. I'd play a lot of Jack Johnson when I was coming through. I like Jack Johnson and Pete Murray and all those guys.
Some nice singing, solid singing guitar.
Yeah. So I did it, and just when you get up on stage in front, just up and play in front of 30, 40 people your first time. But you sort of feel like you just focus on this. You're not looking at them.
Was it the Jack Johnson album with the Banana Pancakes one? Flake.
Flake.
What? It was a good album.
Yeah, awesome. So I've actually started doing a lot of Jack Johnson, and I'm actually remixing them with other songs. And I've got a few mates, and I've got a setup in my shed with my drums and bass and PA system. And you've got a couple of mates, and we're actually doing a lot of remixes. So bringing a lot of rap into our acoustic sort of sound with the Jack Johnson. So it'll be like a Jack Johnson acoustic guitar sound, but I'm rapping Biggie Smalls. It was all a dream. Boom. So with music, sky's the limit. You just get in the shed, couple of beers, have a jam with the boys. I'm lucky I've got some mates that are awesome. One of my mates, Adam Murray, he's just brought out an album on Spotify.
Adam Murray, shout out.
Rad Ram, shout out to Rad Ram. Man, your music's fire. In
the good sense, not
from
like
from the heart, awesome musician.
What sort of music?
Oh mate, it's a bit housey, sort of like Georgie, sort of, but like something you can still listen to in a cafe. But got a lot of meaning, a lot of love behind the music. So right. How good, when your mates are got those talents, and like you're still in the small town, and but yeah. For a small town, cool. In a small community in the whole Coromandel, there's a lot of amazing people around, such as yourselves.
Oh, shucks.
You guys behind the scenes, shout out to Leo.
Hey, is Taylor still there? There's lovely hair tied in that little ponytail thing.
Yeah.
So what are you doing? What are you doing in Tairua anyway?
Well, so obviously after I'd been through my schooling, thought I was going to be All Black.
Here's an introduction, half an hour in.
Yeah,
so what do you do?
Yeah, so I own a takeaway shop called Johnny's Tairua, and that was started just over 3.5 years ago. You know, my mum owns Manaia Kitchen and Bar, which is a cafe, restaurant, bar just across the road on the corner. That's how I sort of got into a lot more live performing. I'd play at Mum's bar and on Friday nights in the school holidays when I'm home, you know, from obviously trying to play a bit of footy in the cities. And, yeah, I'd come back in summer and play there. And, yeah, Mum was actually a big drive behind starting Johnny's. She, you know, helped out a lot, and you know, I knew that from what she had done and how successful she had been with her
Was she
cafe.
designing food or chefing or just managing?
No, she's just like front of house. Yeah,
Managing, knows how to get it done.
You know, Mum was a great cook at home growing up, and that she was never a chef, but just always so great with people. And yeah, my mum and dad's obviously a massive help at her bar and restaurant. They've got another one now that they've had for a couple of years over in Pauanui called Cabana. They're a bar restaurant too. So I guess like from having the background with that was a bit of a driving force to start Johnny's. Knew the money could be made, and obviously we all go into business to make money. Coromandel's such a great place to be in summer.
Some of us.
And if you're selling burgers and tacos, pizzas for a limited time, he knows about that.
Yeah, tacos,
So brother
man.
Brett. But yeah, so, you know, and then getting into Johnny's obviously it wasn't easy. Not actually working.
What was there before you were there?
It was called Taste Tairua, and it was a little fish and chip shop, pizza as well. You know, cheap feed, not bad. Like I had a lot of feeds from there growing up, and
The location's great. It's right beside the petrol
yeah,
station. So.
right behind the gull there in Tairua. So yeah, you know, it's great. People always driving in and out of there, and as we know, Coromandel in summer, like you're only waiting 5 minutes on the Pepe Bridge because it's an 8-laner.
It's an 8-laner.
You may as well just walk down to Johnny's and get a feed, eh? If you're
Bro,
waiting
you
on the
may as
bridge.
well ring up while you're waiting at like Hot Water Beach turn off Dalmani Corner, because that's where it backs up sometimes.
It's pretty long.
But yeah, we won't go there.
Cool. So can we tie that? Because that's a beautiful thing to get
Sorry,
to.
I just realised
Yeah.
what you were talking about. It backs up to there sometimes.
Bro, I actually think it does. Yeah, like people have moaned.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Like after I came through one time.
Remember Coro Gold?
Yeah.
Man, that was massive.
Whatever happened to
Oh,
that?
yeah.
I think it was too muddy one year. Everyone
It
got
was
real muddy.
yeah.
Real muddy.
So that was it. They pulled the pin. 2-inch mud. Never doing
I
it
think
again.
the St. John's bill was too big. Maybe. Nah.
St. John's strikes again.
But
No,
how good is it to have our local St. John's and
volunteers as well?
You're a big fan of it, right?
very big fan. You know, at Johnny's Tairua at our takeaway shop, yeah, massive shout out to the local fire service and ambulance service. They're there in your time of need when you really need them. And as a community, how good.
Because you bought it with the fire station just for the
so
people
the
who
fire
don't know.
station's right next to my shop, and
That's all good.
we see them come in and out when the call outs come. We see them there hundreds of hours when there's not a call out, organising the station. And it's the same with St. John's all around our small communities.
bring your mic up just
Yeah, so sorry, a bit far away, but
Oh, there we are.
yep, that's better. So yeah, it's just back on to that. It's great to have them. You know, as a family, we've had an experience with needing them, and they've been there. And for our shop, like my partner, she was a massive driving force behind that. Having a fundraiser for them, for our community to come in. We had the breakfast show there, so we had Matt. He used to be on Squirt, great presenter. Did an awesome job, showcased our town. we got everyone there. We had a live stream to the breakfast show, and they came on live. We did a pie eating competition. So we had about 8 people lined up on a table a bit bigger than this.
How did you get on that panel?
So my partner, she makes the
Were they all
best,
power
hands
pies?
down, mark my words, the best smoked fish pie you've ever had.
All right.
Honestly, she's nailed it. And they did. Obviously, we let them cool down a bit because they were in a pie eating race. I thought it'd be funny if I gave them hot ones, but yeah, that would have been.
So you're the sort of person that would give someone a really, really cold yard glass at the 21st then?
Yeah, come on. It's a lot of beers. It's like 9
Real
beers,
bubbly.
Is it 7
Freezing.
or 9 beers? It's a lot of beers.
something
But
like that.
so anyway, I gave them
It
pies.
was about 6 regurgitations worth, I think, for me.
Yeah, probably.
Did you make it through?
Anyway,
8 minutes.
My sister-in-law won the competition. There was like heaps of guys as well, but yeah, she smashed it. She won the pie eating comp.
Damn.
We actually fundraised, I think, like over $2,000 for the St. John's and for the local fire brigade. So yeah, it was obviously the community coming down, buying the food. 100% of our profits went straight to them.
That's really
from when
nice.
we opened at 6:30 a.m. till 10:30 a.m. So I was a breakfast fundraiser. We got everyone there. We did the pie eating comp live on the breakfast show, showcase what Tairua all about, supporting local communities.
That's
and
nice. I've seen the chopper come down. Would have been this last summer playing for the Mercury Bay Barracudas cricket team. They had to stop the game. The ambulance coming was someone went off the corner up on top of Pumpkin.
Yep.
And
I thought you were going to say they were bored to death watching it.
no, thanks, Brett. But yeah, they had to call everyone off the field, and then eventually 4 or 5 ambulance sort of crews arrived and doing their thing, and then they had to pull up the mesh cricket pitch that they have there that they sort of pegged down, and it made it a really difficult. It was about 40 minutes of waiting for it. When it came, just the blast. And then the urgency, because you see the ambulance arrive and then it was all in slow motion. Terrifying to watch, but they were really
Powerful
careful
way too.
to get out of the ambulance and into the chopper. They probably took about 25 minutes because they had to be so careful and delicate. I think there's a neck spine thing going on there.
Yep. When there's a injury like that, you've got to be really careful not to move people, and that's what our professionals are there to do, make the right call so that potentially that person doesn't be in more harm. So, shout out to them. Westpac helicopter, how good. Gutted we lost them up here. Really thought we needed them, but they're real quick to boost over from Auckland or Hamilton. Like those guys, they don't muck around. If someone's in need, they'll jump in the chopper. I guess sometimes now, with the health system being under a bit of pressure, they can be trying to assist others. So as they've said, don't call the ambulance unless you need it. Call Healthline.
Healthline's
But
real good though, right?
and how good are they?
them.
But yeah, I guess it's
Well, can we make a Johnny's annual event of a fundraiser, something like that? It'd be quite cool, or try and get a few businesses on board.
100%.
Get
So
a whole
we've-
festival day would be sweet.
we've recently done other fundraisers. So I can't thank my partner Betty May enough. She is a massive driving force behind these fundraisers. She's passionate about it. She's got the communication skills to organise these things, because as you know, organising a big fundraiser, especially when you're dealing with people like the breakfast show and that, things have got to run smooth. So I'm lucky to have her too. And not to mention her cooking skills.
She's a good cook.
She has.
I did tacos the other day.
Man, amazing cook.
Can you tell me about this tacos? Because I've not seen them and been them. Can you describe to me, as a consumer, Brett?
Yes.
How would you describe the experience of arriving, getting out of your car? Can you take me from there? I want to picture it. Time of day.
Parking's easy because you just park straight outside. The tacos. It's 2 tacos in a packet.
We used to do 3.
Yeah,
we just, because they're so massive, we thought, it's going to be a bit more. And 2 tacos fills you up.
I actually bought 4.
Well, bro, you can bowl 4.
I bought 2. And I had 2
you're a big man.
I had 2 for smoko and then 2 for lunch.
Well, that's all right. Eh? That's all
me.
good.
Yeah, because you had a special on that day.
Yeah.
And I was like,
2 for 10, eh? 2 for 10.
And I was like,
$5 tacos on a Taco Tuesday.
Yeah, I was
How
like, I'm
good.
going to get tacos. And then I was like, I'll just get 2. And then, but then I was a bit of a fool. I actually ordered 2 of the same. I was just like, oh no, I'll just have 2 lots. And then, because I didn't realise it came as 2 tacos.
Of the same, yeah.
So I ended up with 4 of the same. And I was like, damn, I should have ordered 2 different ones. And that would have been. But,
so we do a fried chicken taco. So
don't.
we make our own chicken flour. We soak our chicken in buttermilk. We do a pulled lamb. So we put the lamb in the slow cooker. It cooks for about 6 to 8 hours. You know, we've got our herbs and spices out the back. Our blend that we've used since we started, pretty much, you know, the smoked paprika, salt, onion, garlic, won't go into it.
How much
Hey, if you need the recipe, though, I'm not like that. I'm not that type of guy that hides my secret.
Ratios, please?
Yeah, hit me up on Insta or Facey.
Damn it.
Oh, well,
you know. Either, right?
No.
But yeah, we do a pulled lamb. So our pulled lamb's we use a handmade slaw. We've got a slaw maker. So red, white cabbage. We dress our slaw with our house-made chipotle mayo.
Nice.
And then you can either pick the fried chicken, the pulled lamb, or the fish, which we make a nice crispy light batter.
What's the fish you generally use? Are you trying to get fresh fish in, or do you have to go?
Yeah. So I'm actually in talks with a couple of guys from up this way who long line for snapper. I'm trying to get away from... I really want to be sustainable moving forward, and so does my partner, business partner, fiance. She's amazing at coming up with all these great ideas. Like, honestly, I don't have to think of ideas anymore, guys. Like, she just comes up with ideas, bang, and it's awesome. Everything works. Like,
that's a solid click you got there.
Yeah.
Middle
bang.
finger?
Hey, I used to thought that when you click, like maybe
go on.
this was a few years ago. It came from there. But it actually, when you hit it, so some people might not know that yet, eh?
I love that. You're an educator too.
Educated.
Brett, how's your click? You got a good click? Oh, it's pretty nice, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just the timing's
You
probably
do the
off.
double. Can you do your ring finger then, like double it up?
It's quite hard though, eh?
No.
Like, you're a bit of a genius at it, actually.
Oh, yeah, genius of clicking. All right, here we go. Here we go. As a side thing, can you name the song or sing the tune? Yeah!
I don't know the name of it though.
Vivaldi's Four Seasons.
Is that welcome to the wacky whack whack to the wacky whack whack? Of Texas.
Leo, this sound effect is lingering.
How good was Leo's intro today? He put that Instagram post up, like, pulled off. I was like, hey, this is pretty cool. And then Leo's there, whips off his green slinky or whatever it is. Like, hey guys.
Yeah.
He's like, Johnny Mason, the man. I was like, this guy.
We had Charlie Kelly last week, and we were doing some work in the studio, and we were like, man, let's come up with some ideas for the stories. And so I have this green screen clothing, like it's the whole thing. So we were just playing with it, and like he's looking for me, and suddenly I'm attached to the back of the green screen.
Charlie's a future superstar, eh? How good is that kid? Man, ups to Charlie. Shout out to Charlie. He gets he's
Kelly.
He's
Master
into
Kelly.
it. Yeah.
Master Kelly.
Keep it up, Charlie. I loved it. I don't know about Leo, but Leo was on.
We'll take him to join us next time, man. We're gonna go on an adventure for sure, man.
I'll shout him, bro. I'll shout all of you.
Just
Sounds
shout,
good.
just shout.
Because you shouted me a couple of beers, you know?
Just shout at him. Yeah. What are you doing here, Charlie?
Yeah.
Where's the suit?
Yeah. Charlie's gonna get like a free Johnny's voucher. You can just get free Johnny's, eh? Like, he's just our promoter. Like.
Oh man, he's not gonna forget that now that you're saying, bro.
Stop in, Charlie. I got you, bro. Flick me a message.
Now, you mentioned earlier about after St. Paul's, you went to Australia at some point. When did that happen?
Yeah, so went through my schooling at St. Paul's. As I said before, loved my footy. Went through, was lucky enough to be involved with Waikato under 16s right through to under 20s. Played with some awesome players, played against some All Blacks.
Woo!
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Can you drop some names?
I know Sam Kane. Yeah, Sam Kane. We did a rhythm and vines together back in the day. So lucky enough to the All Black captain.
He had a bad weekend though, didn't he?
Had a good night out with Sam Kane and Brody Retallick in Hamilton Town. So
he's a big guy.
Yeah, Brody, how good guzzler, man. He can guzzle straight up that night we were on. But Julian Savia,
he doesn't get full. Yeah.
When I was down in Dunedin, when the All Blacks played South Africa, Julian Savea knew a couple of the boys of my club down there and went out with him. Shouted rounds for all the boys all night. So, yeah, shout out to Jules. But, yeah, like, it's an awesome scene, like, rugby scene in New Zealand where, you know, you get to know some, like, great players, but also some real great players that don't get to be an All Black. Like, they could have been, you know, but they were just having fun and maybe they got injured or something didn't go their way. But
did you know Masisi Corrales then?
Yeah, Masisi was one of my real good mates. So we went into Waikato under-16s together and he was like a front rower back then because I'm a front rower, you know, hooker, prop. Masisi, he was playing number 8. What a player, like the whole Corrales family, legends, like great rugby players, like proud heritage, awesome, like playing with those guys, like they're, you know, undercover, they could have been great players, but as we know, life can...
Yeah, he banged up his knee.
Yeah, poor Cess, real bad, so he went through a real tough time with his knee.
If you wanted to know the Corrales family, the big family, lots of boys and girls in the family. I grew up with Cecil. Neck and neck, 4 days apart, birthdays.
You must know Stacey then. Stacey from Tairua owns 2 tides.
I need to go say hello to Stacey.
He knows the Corrales family real well too. So.
They're a great family because they're half Samoan, half Pākehā. Yeah. One of the great games to play is Spot the Dad.
Yeah.
Because so there's a big Samoan family. You talk like tours. He does the sound of the rugby. I think he worked scuba for the... What's that Avatar movie? Avatar 2 Underwater? He was part of the team organising that.
Oh, yeah. Spoiler alert. It's the second one underwater.
I'm sure that's in the trailer, bro.
It's all water. Anyway, but then there's this huge family all of a sudden, like Spot the Dad, and it's the 5'3" ginger balding dude. That's him. Yeah. That's Noel. What a champ.
Okay, what a champ.
I think he's like my second or third dad, I think, growing up.
So just meeting guys like that, families like that through rugby, how good. So, yeah, playing for Waikato was a huge honour. Went through, met some amazing guys, played some great footy, had some good times. Probably didn't put my head down as much as I should have, but was having fun along the way, so have no regrets. And, yeah, was lucky enough. So when I left St. Paul's, I started playing rugby for a club called Fraser Tech. And I had a job doing auto glazing at Hamilton Windscreens on Te Rapa Strait for that year. Was lucky enough to play for when Fraser Tech's here. We won the Brewery Shield, which is the title in Hamilton. And I was playing hooker that day. It was awesome. We beat Hamilton Old Boys on Fred Jones Park, which is the park right next to the stadium. Mean crowd from both teams, like intense battle, and we came out on top. Lucky that I actually got over for the winning try. We were down by 4 points and dotted down. It was probably the highlight of my career, to be honest, because it was just such a cool moment. Roger Randall was our coach. He's the coach of the Māori All Blacks, and he coaches the Chiefs, the backs coach. Me and Rog, you know, have this awesome relationship, still stay in contact.
As a front
Shout out to Roger Randall, living legend.
What a champ.
He is a champ, such a great guy, a good family man, awesome coach, like really gets you in there.
Was he blown away there? Because as a front rower, how do you score tries? Like,
you got
off the scrum, like up close?
Pick and go, close to the line, but you gotta go in hard and low and drive those legs and just like play in the moment. Like you know, it's sort of a bit like doing this show. Like it's all in the moment. You know, you're only there for a split second, but it's like boom, you know. So it was awesome to go and do that.
Johnny, have you had some rugby players or some sports people coming to the takeaways to have some feed?
So I'm lucky enough to have Izzy Adesanya, the middleweight champion for the UFC. Had a real good chat with him for a couple of minutes. He came into the shop just before the first lockdown. And he was just cruising through in a camper van with his missus. He parked over at the Foursquare across the road. I was standing out front. Where's my customers? It was dead, quiet. It was like one of my last nights I was being able to be open under level 2 back then or something like that. Izzy's across the road. I see him get out and I'm looking around like, nah, that ain't Izzy. That ain't Izzy. You know when you see someone real famous in a small town, you're like, nah. Bro, he turned around, he was in track pants and like a mean camo hunting jacket. Turned around, looked, seen Johnny's and just beelined it for me. And I like was standing there in a bit of shock. Like, that's not, he just smoked over Robert Whittaker. Like, he's a legend. He's put us on the map. Like, everyone knows Kiwis. Everyone knows Kiwis now.
That's
like,
2020. Was he big then? I thought he's been a bit later than that. Was he already famous?
He was famous then, man. He just like, he was a champion then. Yeah, and he's gone on to great things. People say, oh, boring fighter, but hey, he's winning. He's a champ. Like, I don't think it's that boring. Like, a fight's a fight. They have their rules, and it's like rugby. Like, rugby, sometimes the best team doesn't win. Like, sometimes...
He's very precise, eh?
Very precise, yeah.
What it is, eh?
And just, I think, the amount of, like... I think a guy like that gets so much respect because he loves what he does and he's not afraid of showing it.
Nice.
He doesn't care what anyone thinks.
Did you burn his food in your shock? Just out of curiosity?
I gave him a free feed, no shit, like $100 worth of food. I gave him wings, Johnny Burger, Kiwi Burger. He told me some stuff he wanted. I was like, bro, I'm getting you more, bro. I didn't charge him, straight up. I was like, no, man, I'm not charging you. He's like, come on, like trying to give me his car. I was like, bro, just chuck me on your Instagram. And he's like, oh, okay, man, like... come on, Izzy. Chuck me on your Instagram. You never did, bro.
You're still waiting?
Nah, you're good, But yeah, so, and my partner Betty May was there as well at the time. We were just like, we'd just finished, like, I was like 2 weeks before he had his big fight. I think it was with Whittaker. And then all of a sudden he's in your shop. And like, he talked to us for a good 2 or 3 minutes. Like, he didn't just gap it. Like... Oh,
like I do. You know, I've run out of you guys.
Just like
quick.
a real genuine basic chat, like, you know, well, like, man, you're doing so well, like, congratulations. And he's like, yeah, man. And then we like, it was funny because it's like, girl came running in with her phone and she's actually a local girl who lives in town and she's like good friends with Izzy's sister. So she was like, like video called her friend, which is Izzy's sister. I was like, and he's like, yo, like, you know, just like real. And then, I'm not sure what happened next. Like actually one of my friends, shout out to Matt the Viper Vale. He's on his way up trying to crack the UFC. He's
Matt the Viper.
He hasn't been beaten. He's fights out of Hamilton, New Zealand. Matt the Viper Vale.
Let's bring him here, man. Let's talk to him.
I'll hit up Viper. He'll be keen to come down. Like he's spent a lot of time in Tairua. His wife's family had a batch there. So he'd always come down. They've actually sold it recently, but
if he starts winning UFC, you can buy it back.
Yeah,
bring the Viper home. Bring the Viper to New Zealand.
The Viper, like, I've watched a few of his fights. I haven't been to one live, but he is the real deal. And like Izzy knows him. Like I was like, Izzy, I know Matt Viper Vale. He's like, yeah, Matty the Viper. Yeah, that's my boy.
I smacked him.
Yeah, but like, how good's
is there
like...
good respect in that sort of field? Yeah. People aren't constantly trying to like say I'm stronger than this person. There's mutual respect in the styles and everything, right?
Everyone just does what they got to do. Like, Kiwi sport, like, you know, it's come a long way. We're good at a lot of different sports now.
We dropped the ball though over the lockdown with that sort of thing.
You know, as we know, times have been tough, but the political figures are now...
Not been able to get them.
It's you know, like
that was pretty budget.
People pull strings for people and then they don't pull strings for people and there's just real unfair thing. Like, you know, the All Blacks were getting strings pulled to go to Aussie to play the Wallabies test matches, and then you got Izzy and Dan Hooker stuck in New Zealand.
And Dan Hooker's cutting weight like on the plane
because
he couldn't get in.
But how cool's Dan Hooker? Like, he's been rolled in his last couple of fights, but man, he is legit the man. Like, who cares? Like, he dropped so much different weight levels, went up and down. Like, you know, respect to Dan. Like,
the first fight I seen of his was, I don't even know. I'm not too much into UFC, but I remember seeing that first fight that I saw of his anyway was one where he just kept fucking elbowing the guy like in the face, you know, and he was just boom, boom, like over and over, and it made me feel sick, man.
Yeah.
I was just like, this
UFC's an intense sport, but it's a sport, and you know, like as we all know with sports, like even rugby, like I had some rugby games where I was never playing at that elite level super rugby, but I had a few games like that I felt after the game like, wow, like that was as physical as it gets. Like you are literally, everything's on the line. You're trying to, you know, a guy's running as fast as he can that way. You're running fast. You're both trying to absolutely smash each other. Like they're mini car crashes.
It's exactly
I've
what I was
had to
gonna
give
bring
up
up.
rugby because of a lot of head knocks.
Seatbelts.
There's no seatbelts, mate. My head, I need to wear a helmet.
Bring seatbelts into rugby.
Headgear was my best friend in my last few years of playing. You know, lucky enough
you're already rubbing heads and shoulders already.
Yeah, I've got a cauliflower ear. Like if I take off my muffs, one of my ears sticks out further than the other.
Is that why you have one of them sitting like this?
Yeah. It
What's your opinion on it? So with the headgear, like there's sort of mixed decisions on wearing it, whether it helps with concussions and things like that, or is that pretty?
It does help. You've got a layer of padding around your brain. Like if you whack your head hard against someone's shoulder or head, you've got a bit of padding there. It helps. I wore headgear the last 4 or 5 years of my career because I'd started getting a lot of head knocks. A lot of players are dealing with it at the moment. A lot of serious dementia cases are coming out.
It's real sad.
I've watched a lot of, you know, like it seems to be more and more lately. You know, like you've just had All Black Carl Heyman come out. You know, shout out to Carl Heyman, legend of my club when I moved to Dunedin,
He
the
won the
Southern
strongman,
Magpies.
Right? He entered that strongman competition in New Zealand and he won it, just first year entrance.
Didn't know that, but what a
champ.
legend. Like, you know, guys like that, like they rugby was fun, turned into a career, and now they're losing their mind in their 40s. It's really tough.
What
really
are you reckon about
tough.
making it compulsory headgear?
Yeah, it wouldn't be a
going-
bad. Hey, it's
that's
not
the-
that hard to people. Oh, it's too hot. It gets pulled down, bro. Strap it up or get a smaller size so it doesn't rip down over your eyes. Yeah, it could be a thing. Look at American football, man. They wear pads, helmets. The hits in rugby are more physical. Like they see. I've actually talked to some Americans who've seen some of our games, like especially those real physical club rugby games where there's so much at stake, so much local rivalry. You know, you might be your neighbouring club. It might be
The tackles are
1 versus 2. It might be a do or die game where there's no next week if you don't win. And some guys, that's personal. Like they will die for their team. That's how they go into a game. And that's when you get knocked out. You know, I used to play some games where I'd be so fired up, like I actually didn't care if I died on the field. It would be, you know, went out doing what I loved. You know, like it was
Today's
just that
a good day to die.
intense. Like,
Done
so
hard.
yeah, like touching on head knocks in rugby. Yeah, it's bad, and you need to be careful, and you need to have a few weeks off if you get knocked out, and listen to your body. There were times when I'd get knocked out and I wouldn't even have a week off. I'd go back and play. But
Not anymore.
hopefully I'm the lucky one who doesn't get dementia at 40.
Well, you got 10 years of life ahead of you.
Yeah, well, I'm
Make the
30
most of it
now,
while you
so
can.
yeah, I may as well do a lot of fishing. I don't know about the shop, but I'm lucky I've got amazing support and staff, and I don't have to be there all the time now. The first couple of years was really it was quite hard. Like there's some days when there were some weeks in winter when I was the only staff member, so I'd be going in there. Before I had the shop, I had Johnny's property services, so I was a property maintenance guy. I did a bit of everything, home handyman stuff. I ended up selling a lot of firewood, which was great. Loved going out getting firewood. Always did it growing up with the old man. Sold a lot of firewood, had a few lawns, did gardens, the odd little building job. And, you know, that was great. But with my rugby career, I ended up with quite a few niggles that I didn't take care of because to me, they weren't that bad, you know, like you would just sort of push it to the side, have a rest for a week or two, but probably injuries, some where you needed surgery that you'd be like, you know, like I'll come right and the body heals. We all know. And yeah.
But you got a sore knee still 10 years later or some shit.
Well, like mine's because I was in the front row. Mine's my neck and back. Recently had scans, not looking too good. Pretty much, like, haven't even announced it to, like, on social media or whatever, but pretty much got told not to play rugby again, which was tough, but, man, people go through some gnarly, bad stuff, like being able to not play rugby. At least I can walk, I can go, you know.
Just play cricket.
Yeah, cricket. I love cricket, but I'm into my fishing, so fishing's where it's at. Fishing and diving. Recently got into game fishing, marlin, tuna.
There's been some controversy
fishing
about that lately. You've been following online?
Yeah, so like they've recently put a rahui on the scallop beds out here, which is, like they've done it for a reason. The numbers have dropped, so good on them. You don't have to go get scallops somewhere else. Like there's other places, like there's harbours on the west coast that are full of scallops. There's other places you can go get that aren't been. So we're having a break on the scallops. They've dropped the crayfish quota, which is actually, there's quite a bit of controversy behind the scenes because there's a lot of crays still out there.
Do we need them though?
What we need them is available for us to be able to go and buy at a good price. Probably the price they send them to China or Japan for. We be able to buy them at that rate. At the moment, we're paying more. You go to the supermarket or anywhere you can buy a cray, over $100.
Yeah.
Why would anyone buy?
I got a quote because we make crayfish pies sometimes. So I buy crayfish. I buy from Whangamata Seafoods. I've bought. They do scallops as well.
I'm just saying though, you could
but
not make a crayfish pie as well. Just like
my partner Betty May, who's more than the manager. She's an owner of Johnny's Tairua. Her crayfish pie, hands down, best pie I've ever had, and I've had a lot of. That's not even being biased because my pie's like to have that crayfish flavour, which is quite unique in a pie. She makes, obviously, as I said, the best smoked fish pie. She makes that white sauce. She puts so much aroha love into that sauce, like, you know. Hats off to her. I
was going to say crayfish
she's
pie.
cracked it. Like where people are coming. I've had people drive from Hamilton to come and get a pie from Johnny's. I've had people come down from Auckland.
That's pretty sweet.
I shout them if I know that because I'm like, man, like how good's that? Like, have the leftovers. Like some of Betty May's friends, Lauren and Daniel, they came down on the weekend because they just wanted to come for a day. Like they've got kids, they left the kids with their parents. They just shot down, got there at lunchtime. Had the pies there ready for them at home. Power pie, smoked fish pie. Betty May's also making fried bread, which is like unique, mouldy kai. Beautiful bread, fresh bread. So she makes it, let it rise. It's real tricky to make properly. So she makes it and she deep fries this bread. And as we're selling power pies, we make a lot of cream power. So
the boys have been raving
about the cream power in the slow cooker. The tradies love it, bro. We fill a slow cooker with cream power. She makes a fried bread. We put in a container and put the fried bread in the cream, the cream power into the fried bread. It's like you mop it all up, sort of thing. It's nice.
I really want to try it now.
We do it with golden syrup and butter, which is a staple. So that's like Maldives love maple syrup, butter on a fresh fried bread. It's like melt in your mouth. Got to try it.
I'm dairy free. Yeah, I'm the dickhead who has to ruin it now. I'm 2 years into it and I hate it.
We can suss you a dairy free option, man. Like straight up, like we do a lot, like especially like we like to cater for people like yourself, you know, like we'll go out of our way to do that. Like
invalids,
sick people,
yeah, right.
No, they're not sick. They just got different ways. Like respect to everyone who wants to do something and they do it. You know, like you don't.
Mine's health.
You don't have to
reasons,
follow mainstream.
Yeah, I get sick.
He literally gets sick.
I get sick, whole body. I'm sick.
A lot of people do, bro. As I'm getting older, man, I don't like dairy's pretty bad for me. What about yourself, Brett?
Fucking
yeah, he froths on dairy, but meanwhile he's blowing up the Thunderbox. Just like
the cheese.
He's got the full blown squirts. He's going.
Oh no! I don't know people who get that. Like I was talking to a workmate about that, and he's like, he's what was like a primo or something, milk drink. And he was like, and he's just like, oh, you're going home for the shit, say? And I'm just like, I don't know, what are you talking about?
I need to go to the toilet, man.
I don't need to go to the toilet. I just drink it, and then I don't have to go for a shit afterwards. Okay. I don't know why people have to. Maybe you're gluten intolerant. I mean, dairy, lactose intolerant.
Yeah, so it's you're gluten free.
Dairy.
I could drink a litre of milk and not need to go for a shit.
Yeah, so we got problem.
Can we make that a clip?
We do real fruit ice cream. So a lot of the time we'll get in dairy free ice cream, so you can have an ice cream. A lot of our stuff, if you came in and I was in there and you're like, hey man, how's it going? I'm dairy free. I'd be like, oh, sweet as, bro. What can I make you? Do you want to design it yourself? Just you can see what's on the menu, man, all the ingredients. Do you want to just chuck something on a burger or whatever you like?
We won't make a pizza anymore. Do you have an end date for that, by the way? Is there an official no pizza date?
So we're in a predicament.
You're really throwing
our pizza oven.
He might not want him to be doing anything. You tell him.
I leased to buy my pizza oven. So my pizza oven was a $12,000 oven. Oof. Okay, so not cheap. I think it costs about $500 a month to run. It's a big cost. We all know good markup on pizzas make good money. There's a lot of fishing trips, especially if I just go and close soft baiting or a stray line. As my mate Frank from Ocean Nation, a tray line. Yeah. He likes getting oven trays and I don't know.
So what's the tray line?
No, don't worry. No, it was a spelling mistake on one of his posts. But yeah, he loves tray lining. Anyway, so mad respect to, people who, put passion into their kai and,
accept their deficiencies. Yeah, coriander too. I can't have coriander.
Yeah, well, that's a lot of people say because we do coriander as a
coleslaw
on our tacos as after our sauce as a garnish, and then a bit of fresh lemon juice. So, not everyone likes coriander. That's all good. Say no coriander.
You get the FODMAP people. There's a lot of allergies at the moment, or a lot of allergies like mine.
Yeah. So, another reason why we're getting rid of pizza is that we want to focus on the tacos and the burgers, and the pies have just gone crazy. We're on the breakfast show, people stopping for our pies a lot, and we've been struggling to be set up enough because we don't actually have a big fan forced oven. We're cooking the pies in our pizza oven, so we get them good, but they're going to be better once we get that pizza oven out. We get the oven in. My poor partner, she's been going down there early in the morning making pies, and it's not really set up for pies. And a lot of the time we're running out of pies because it hasn't been, we're not really fully set up properly for it.
So what you're saying is going to be no final pizza day.
So the final pizza day will be when I sell the oven. I will give you a week's notice. Come in for a pizza. I was actually thinking about dropping the prices, pizzas on a Wednesday. Monday pizza day, I'm pretty sure. It's $13 for our pizzas. So our more expensive pizzas are $20. But
that's nice. House Pizza Friday 13th, they do that same thing.
Yeah. So, and as you know, Taco Tuesday, $10 tacos, you get 2 in a box, $5 each.
Wings Wednesday,
$1 wings. So the wings are gone crazy too, man. We got people coming in for our wings.
20 wings, 40 wings.
Some days I'll sell 10 kgs of chicken wings, a lot of chicken wings. I'm going through a lot of fried chicken.
There's a lot of wingless chickens out there now.
So you can get your wings mild, medium, or hot. We do we've got hot sauce. We put our house-made chipotle mayo, our smoky barbecue.
I literally used my finger and scooped up all the sauce and ate all the sauce that was left over.
Oh.
Put it on the ends of the bones and really get that knuckle off.
Those yum wings, man.
I just want to go there now. This is tough.
So it's like the wing. It's like the whole wing too. Like
the whole
feathers and all.
Yeah, feathers, bro.
They got a little bit on the end.
How good are crunchy feathers? But yeah, so pizzas. Keep an eye out on our Facebook, Instagram. We'll let you know when we're a week out from finishing. We'll do a mean special. It'll be all good. Hey, if we have them till December, before summer kicks in, it'll definitely be gone by that busy period. We're gonna really focus on having that pie cabinet full, So when the bro Brett's coming through or having smoko, he's got a job in Whangamata, he knows that we're going to have a pawa, we're going to have a smoked fish, there's going to be fried bread. There's going to be food that he can stop, grab, and he's only going to be there for a couple of minutes while he's ordering.
Well, that's what I was going to say, because for those of you
barista coffee,
those of you that are watching it from overseas, we have quite a nice overseas audience, which is quite cool.
Yep.
So Tairua is there's one main road that goes through it, and Johnny's is right on it. So if I ever go to Johnny's, it's usually I'm going to Hamilton in the evening.
Yep.
And previously I've purchased pizzas, and trying to drive while trying to navigate on the passenger seat a piece of pizza to not drop all the toppings on your lap.
You got to let it cool down, bro. It hardens up.
Yeah. But I suppose for me, the thing I'll be looking for in your products, because I don't really ever go to Tairua other than travelling through.
Yeah.
So unless it's cricket on,
a lot of our customers are like you, yeah.
If I have a pie that I can hold in one hand comfortably, maybe it'll fit inside. I've got a double cup holder now.
Well,
you know what I was thinking, bro? Is like designing pie trays, and you get those pies now, and they're traveller pies. They're long, bro. Yeah. Like and make pies like travellers. So we're a little bit different again. You don't go in and get an oval pie. It's a long pie, similar amount of filling, like probably more, even a little bit more.
Fit inside your thermos, keep hot.
Almost have your own style of pie, I guess. Like, this has only popped into my mind now, but you always got to be thinking, You never know. Like, that could be our winner.
You should
traveller pies.
Yeah,
and their power and their smoked fish. But so, we don't actually make our meat pies. They come up from Wanaka, but let me tell you, these meat pies are amazing. So they're made fresh in Wanaka. They freeze them, send them up, and then we reheat them in our ovens, which is totally fine. They come out. Because you're reheating them in the oven, they taste like they're fresh, They've
been heated and they're not going to be soggy.
But yeah, come in and try them. They're only $5, so they're a good price. Our seafood ones, like our pawa, because pawa is so expensive, can be hard to get. They're $10. We do our smoked fish for $8. And another one to watch out for is our curried mussel pie. Oof. It's Betty May's whānau recipe. My partner's whānau recipe.
So what is the recipe?
Yeah.
It's curry and a white mussel sauce. So it's basically like... It's just yum. Like Keith, your workmate, Keith loves them. I've got guys that come in and they say, oh, mate, that curry mussel, best pie I've ever had. I've had that happen 3 times. Smoked fish, I've had that happen 30, 40 times. The power pie, I've got people coming down from Hamilton, buying all our power pies in the cabinet and taking them to Auckland.
Greedy bastards.
And then people come in and there's no pies and they're going, man, you got no pies. I was like, man, we just got smashed on pies. And that's another thing, getting rid of pizza, getting set up for pies, having that 24/7.
That's going to be a nice summer. I'm going to enjoy it. I can't wait. I think this week I'm travelling through, but I'll probably Sunday afternoon. You guys open on Sundays?
Yeah, we're open 7 days a week.
Oh,
so we open up at 9 a.m.
So I'm coming on Sunday.
We really want to push that forward when we can, when we get set up. We want to be open up at 7:30. But we open at 9 a.m. and we close at 7:30 p.m.
Right, it's a big day.
Yeah, and we're 7 days a week. And as I said, if you miss out on something, place your feedback and that'll come back to me or my partner. We are working on having a better supply so that you can stop in and try our beautiful kai that we've really put our love into.
Well, that oven will make a huge difference there.
It will. Yep, it will. So
see ya.
Yeah, later, Bolt.
Sick of you.
He's out of here.
Sick of
He's headed for Hamilton. Stop at Johnny's, bro.
He's off. He must be going there right now. What's
I'll tell them to stay open on us. 8:15. You missed out.
So, you saying you get a bit of long lining?
Nah, bro. So I'm a fisherman. Like, grew up in the dinghy, out on the mud flats, flicking lines. Now I've bought myself a boat about 5 years ago. I've got a buccaneer that I end up taking to ridiculous places that I probably shouldn't. So sometimes I'm 2 hours out off land fishing for deep dropping for fish like blue nose and swordfish and harpooker.
Oh, yeah, harpooker out there, yeah.
Really into my game fishing. Yeah, I've been lucky enough to catch a yellowfin tuna out here. I've caught a couple of striped marlin, around 120 kgs.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm all set up on my boat for game fishing. Really enjoy it. It's my outing for now. I'm finished my footy career. Got so much joy out of footy, but really loving my fishing. It's not too hard on the body. It's so cool. You go out there. It's hard with the fuel prices when you do a big day out now. It's 400 at least. But
you should have invested. You should have gone. I need to go and buy 1,000 litres of fuel while the prices are cheap. They're going up.
Yeah, I should have bought a fuel tanker. Damn it!
Yeah.
But the fuel tanker would have cost me so much that
It's pretty tough, man. Like the fuel prices. What they bring them down? Did they bring them down just recently? A couple of days ago.
Yeah, but they're back to 310.
Yeah,
310.
Oh, it's hard.
Morning.
You know,
I thought they went to 25 cents less and then just straight back up again.
Yeah, I don't know.
People
People say it's tax. I think the oil companies are making too much money. They're really making a lot of money at the moment. Whereas
they've always been making a lot of money, haven't they?
But
That's what all the war's about.
I suppose it's the business. The business is.
But
to
I
make
think
money.
they're scared of running out, maybe, because of the wars and that.
That's all around the world. It's not just in New Zealand.
Yeah.
Like, overseas as well.
São Paulo,
the
it's going all right.
But
the price there is crazy expensive.
They're harping on about electric vehicles and that. Great. Like, I even looked into electric outboards that they've started to produce. But
where do you put the so
there's also a lot of scary things about the batteries they're using in terms of how they're made. There's a lot of, I guess, slave labor overseas, and it's sad.
Well,
and there's also a fire risk, when you crash.
Alistair Brickell was keen to that. We spoke to a fellow from Kuatunu who does the stargazing type thing. He likes to show a video of an exploding battery of a bus in France.
Oh, mate.
Love showing it. It's terrifying.
Did you know that the firemen in New Zealand, if there's an electric car on fire, they get told to walk away? Because those batteries, when they start burning, and and I think that, like, the environment, like, we really need to look after it. But I don't think it's cars that are doing that damage. I don't know. I think it's, I guess, all the wars and the pollution overseas.
Industry,
we can be amazing in New Zealand, and we are. We're all going to, like, all our packaging. So we work to be sustainable at Johnny's Tairua. Our cutlery's all wooden. Our packaging's cardboard. We, do our best to recycle. It's definitely a main focus, like making sure that we look after the environment. But whether it's electric cars that are going to do that, or I think petrol prices are definitely.
It's just a little part of it, Definitely changing the cars won't save the world.
Yeah,
but would help to move the technology further. Maybe it's not just the cars, but like maybe the battery will get so good that then we don't need any more petrol and all, But definitely is not the what is now is not what should be,
Well, we need these advances in technology though, so that we can get somewhere. Because the fuel companies, they've been holding on to, I was talking to my brother about it. He's a mechanic, diesel mechanic, and he's just like, bro, we're still running just internal combustion engine, same thing we've been running for the last 100 years, over 100 years. And it's just like, it's crazy, like, to think that we're still using that. And I was like, and we're still making our electricity in much of the same, not New Zealand necessarily, although some in New Zealand, but still making our electricity the same way. We're burning coal, we're burning,
Actually, there's a nice announcement we heard recently. I don't know if I'm allowed to share this, but I will. Our schools, boiler they're replacing the coal boiler for our school, so we're no longer going to get our heating panels heated by coal at school. Apparently there's still quite a number across New Zealand that have been there.
What are they using now?
So it hasn't changed, but they're changing. There's a process that's finally underway. Money's in, organising. So they're going to...
No, I mean instead of coal, what are they going to be using?
I don't know.
There's another gas they're using now that can be used that's almost as sustainable as electricity.
I don't know.
I think it's more clean burning.
Methane.
Yeah, is they going to change all our LPG to methane, like all our gas bottles for home for our hot water? They're looking at doing a full changeover, right, to methane eventually.
Hadn't heard.
I think the inside scoop from Cindy is that we don't know what's going to happen, but it could happen. No,
it does sound like it.
So stay on your toes because we could be in lockdown next week. No,
that's actually a lovely segue.
Hope not. No.
That's a lovely segue. We've got a few questions, comments,
You're
shout
like,
outs.
I hope not. And I'm like, I hope so.
Yeah. Want a week off, bro?
Yeah, I'm keen on a week off work.
So we have a live chat from those that are watching us live, which is quite cool. A couple of questions, comments that come through, and I'll just go through a couple. Are you ready?
Fire away, sure. Yeah, fire away, man.
Kia ora, my friend. Kia ora, ALTBAYS from Matt Cook. So thank you so much. Chloe, one of our lovely co-hosts here, Chloe Portai, has got a lovely question. Ask if Auntie Cindy has been in. She's been over those ways a bit.
Yeah, so actually Jacinda owns a house in Tairua. Well, her parents bought one, but she spends a lot of time there over summer. I've actually met a lot of her security guards. So all her security guards come in, love our food. Awesome dudes, always on their toes. They're all good. They're all cool.
They're abandoning her to come see you.
Cindy hasn't come in. Cindy's been up to other shops in town. She's happy. She gets a lot of grief. She's under a lot of pressure. She makes decisions. It's her job. Some people don't like that. Some people do. And she comes into town and she does her thing, man. And a lot of people have mutual respect. If you don't like someone, there's no need to air that. And I think, a lot of people do like her because she's done some great things too. But who said it's easy to run a country, man?
Half the country is going to dislike whoever's in power pretty much no matter what. So,
yeah. But I think, she has a good heart, but I don't think she makes the final decision. We all know the big banks do, the money rollers, it's all out there now.
As Leo calls it, it's the man.
The man. Maybe it's Bill Gates.
That'd be fascinating.
Elon Musk. Wow.
I love Elon Musk.
He's low key chill, but he just works too hard. He's like, I've been working 30 years straight. I've had one holiday. I've had about 3,000 holidays, and I can go fishing. I got a boat. I'm not as rich as you, but all good.
I don't even think he cares about the money though. Everyone else cares about the money. Everyone else cares.
Did he even buy Twitter? I don't know. There's so much. Do we believe the media? Yeah, we do sometimes. No.
I think the idea is at what point do you need more money? What can you do with, say, $40 billion
surely you'd help out
you couldn't do with $30 billion?
Well, you couldn't buy Twitter with $30 billion. That's one thing you couldn't do.
Thank you, Brett, for that.
If somehow I managed to become a billionaire, there would be so much less poverty around. Surely you can help with that, feeding children that need food.
I think someone said with $1 billion that you could fix poverty, and he simply said, "Please demonstrate how, and I'll do it." And so he's put that challenge out there. If you think with whatever number figure I could solve world poverty with, please let me know exactly how I do it, and I will.
I have a plan.
Taylor's got a plan.
You get a billion. You get a billion buying flour, and then you buy another billion in another stuff, and then you give to people to eat.
So are you saying use the
what you're
system?
saying, bro? So you know how people get the benefit here, who are and they've got a couple of kids. A lot of them just go straight to their drug dealers, buy drugs, buy alcohol. They should be getting food vouchers, pack and save.
No, I disagree.
Because then they'd go boom. They have to buy their kids food.
You can't tell
a lot
them
of
what
kids
they
go
have to
hungry.
buy. You can't tell them what they can and can't buy. I don't tell you what to buy with my $10 that I give you.
And that's your opinion, and that's fine, and that's okay.
Well,
but
we live in a free world. You should be able to buy what you want.
Yeah. Right, but the money that they get is our money.
Half of it?
It's not... it is all of our money. You're right, Taylor. It is all of our money, including theirs.
Taxpayers.
Well, no,
they do.
Yeah.
But like, would you say maybe half that money they got to buy food?
I used to think that way. I absolutely used to think that way, where I was like, you know what? They should just get a card and it only works at the supermarket and you can't buy alcohol and cigarettes with it, blah, 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 blah. But all you
let them buy some, like enough for the week, but not binge on it.
But
so
what
the
you're
kids go
talking about
hungry.
is more of a what's the word?
I'm thinking maybe
totalitarian style where it's like, this is what you're getting.
Say I'm at home with 2 kids and I'm struggling, like I pay my rent for $150 a week, I'm getting $500 a week. I wouldn't be angry if $200 of that food has to be spent at Countdown or Pack and Save, and the last 200 I get on ciggies and beers. I'd be happy. So, but at the moment, there's some cases where kids are going hungry, and their parents spent all the money on drugs and alcohol.
Do you know what they do in America where you get food stamps? They sell the food stamps.
Yeah.
Right, to get the cash to then buy the drugs. So.
Okay, so my theory is boom.
They're screwed. They end up worse off. It's the education is the issue. They need to go, hey, you guys.
Education.
We need to teach you how to handle money properly. 1, 2, how to figure out what
you're right.
What trauma you've experienced in life that makes you need to take drugs and alcohol.
Help people,
you know,
help people
give
move
them therapy
forward.
and counselling, and then they go, I don't need to spend fucking.
Where do you think our health system's going wrong with mental health, bro?
Where do I think it's going wrong?
Yeah.
I think so. The New Zealand, the DHB, or whatever they're called, they have a way, and they do it with mental health, and they do it with other physical health as well. Is they wait until you are critical before you receive treatment. For example, if you've got a sore shoulder, I've got a sore shoulder right now because I'm a plasterer, right? The shoulder's worn out. They're not going to help me with it. They'll go, oh, cool. When it's a little bit worse, okay, well, we'll give you an injection to make it a little bit better, cool. Well, we won't help you with your shoulder, though, until I can't use it anymore, and then they do it.
So they're only helping people that are in serious need. So they're not helping those mid-range where they possibly may have something happen where their mental health takes a massive downturn, and they
trauma
end up
can be in so many different ways, and so many people experience it.
I've been through it, and it's not easy.
Some people only need counselling though, and they do offer, I think it's 3 free counselling sessions. If you just go to the doctor and go, bro, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm really down. I've been down for the last month or whatever. My wife left me, or I've lost my job or whatever. They'll go, cool, man, here you go. Go see this person. And that person will probably go, hey, man, what's important to you, blah, blah, blah. And they might be able to help you out. If you've got a serious mental, serious depression, you know,
which a lot of people do in New Zealand now.
You need therapy then, not
struggling.
just 2 or 3 episodes.
So does it just need to be easier for people to access therapy? And
there's not enough therapists.
Okay. So they need to make it free to study?
Yeah, what they need is to pump money into that. This is my opinion.
Pump a bit of
money into that industry.
Well, they can afford to, They pump money into everything. I think
so. Or just put our taxes up another 2% or whatever. Do you know how much that it would pump?
Well, don't waste any of the tax money. Spend it on something that we need taken care of.
But if they pump money into it, the people will come, or the people who are coming up through school will go, okay, well, there's lots of money in the health industry, so maybe we'll study to become therapists, or therapists from overseas will go, why would I be here?
Communities could do more, local councils. There's not much to do for local kids in our small communities. So in Auckland, the Auckland City Council, they do so much for young kids, for the youth. They have all these programs
they've got some good stuff around here.
And 100%. But could they do more, in terms of helping young people?
I think they need a skate park for one.
I think the drug problem.
Well, that's actually right in front of my house, and that's actually been a massive talking point around the community. And we all know we need a skate park. The kids, I used to be in that position. I'd jump on the ferry, go to Pauanui for the skate park for the day. Spend the whole day there, come home. Awesome. And that was great, but now the ferry's $10 to go there and back and stuff, and costs are so high. Parents and local kids, they deserve a skate park. Whether, it should be going where they're trying to put it, or there's plenty of places they could put it. Where they're trying to put it, the people that have their issues is that like the toilets are too far, it's too cramped.
There's always going to be an issue though.
You know, but there is other places and where it could go. I think it's just come down to, we're only putting it here and it can only go here. And hey, I'd love a skate park. It's right in front of my house. I'm the closest house and I'm the only one in the area that's not against it. That just is mutual. Like, we need a skate park, man. Put it in. Mm-hmm. And it should go in. But there's a lot of things and a lot of hidden things that may potentially,
so in conclusion, if you can put that in a tweet, send that to Elon Musk, and we'll sort it out.
Yeah, well, I might say, hey, Elon, bro, they need to move some pipes to have it in a place where it's close to the town, close to the public toilets and that.
Priority
so
number
it'll
one.
be all good. Can you shout the brothers and help us put it here? The other thing is, the people that are really against it, just touching on it, we'll only touch on it for another minute. The people that are really against the skate park going where it is aren't
white people.
They're not against having a skate park. They're against having it right there. And there's other places it could go. And that's all I'm saying. I don't care if it goes there. Whatever. I'm happy. I used to skate, you know. I don't know if it'll devalue my house or up it in value. I don't really care.
I think it being close to town is very, very important, though.
Yeah, very important, because then the council just spent over $1 million on the local public toilets. The public toilets are right there.
They are very nice.
They're very nice. They are nice. They are nice.
We needed them before, and now they're nice.
I don't know if they should have cost $1 million. Like, I reckon they could have been built for $300 or $400. I just stopped there now to go to the toilets. Anyway, touching on the skate park, that's it in a nutshell. The people who are against it aren't against having one. They actually offered $250,000 to help put it where they want it, and they got told they're
underwater.
Nah, it's not underwater. Like, people worry about the sand blowing in, but there's skate parks in Australia. Like, I used to live in Sydney on the beach. Like,
Raglan skate park's same. It's right, literally on the beach.
It's quite cool there because it's right on the water, close to town. It can be monitored. But
what would be their reasons for not being where they want? Why? What they say?
There's a lot going on there.
Old people don't want to see children.
It's not a bad place to have it. There's just a lot going on there. As I know, I live right there. But like I said, you know, there's other options that sort of aren't being looked at because the council chucked it in the too hard basket, and they do that a lot.
Here's a tricky one for you. If I can just go real tricky. Get rid of the kids' playground. I know it's new, but move the kids' playground.
We'll just move it, yeah.
Like, and then, second story, kids' playground, net walls. 2-story it.
How good.
Why don't we just delete children and we don't have to worry about it?
Nah.
Oh, no, adult skate as well. Adult skate as well. I forgot adult skate.
I don't think they have that button on them.
Hey, like, you know, our kids, our local kids, they're part of our communities. Like, we want them growing up with stuff to do.
Yeah.
Some of them, they don't get taught like me. They didn't get taught how to fish and hunt and dive. They had no one to teach them how to do that. They just got a skateboard and a scooter and a bike. You know, they want to have somewhere to go. So, like you guys said, you know, we need a skate park. Whiti's got one. Whangamata's got one. Pawanui's got one.
Every town should have one.
Every town should have one. And there's been this massive debate in town. And debate's fine. Like, everyone has debate, you know. Something should happen, something shouldn't happen. Everyone's got their own ideas, their own say. And that's fine. You're entitled to that. But, hey, let's put all those to the side and just make something happen for the kids,
one of those odd situations like, you know, never have any alcohol with your kids, and so eventually they sneak out and try and drink alcohol. And then they sneak out into whatever.
You can't cotton wool wrap everything.
Never hit your kids.
But the...
Oh, well, you know,
sneak out and they get beat up.
The trouble is, if the kids try and sneak out onto that area with their skateboard, they're just going to be stuck in sand or stuck in grass. So they can't even sneak and do it. They can't even rebel because there's nowhere to rebel. Unless they just go full footpath.
They can't even rebel.
Yeah. I mean, it would be so funny if they did. So funny if they all just, like, hung out as if it was a skate park anyway and just pretended for, like, a month.
Like, there's other things to do in town. Like, you know, you can go and join the Life Saving Club and go and do cadets and nippers, and there's a lot of things to do.
Yeah, kids could strike.
I think, like, as the years go by, for us not having something like that for the kids, it doesn't have to be the state-of-the-arts Olympic Park. It needs to be something that's good for kids that are little right through to later teenagers. You know what I mean? Like an area for the younger kids. Not just focus on one group. So like a lot of people in these smaller communities can get tunnel vision. They're not actually looking at that's always going to happen when I'm chucking my hands around. And you know what I mean? Like just have that, keenness to get it done for the community and kids. So
it'd be great if someone said, "Here's the floor plan," and they had a map, and everyone in the communities at this meeting, they would sort of push it around until eventually the least amount of resistance happens, and they go, "Okay,
there it is."
Yeah.
It's right in the middle of the state highway 25.
Yeah, so like things like that, like the bridge, like a lot of people say the bridge, they want it because it's historic. Well, if I was in charge of that whole operation, I'd just build a new bridge in between the walkway and the car bridge. And then once I've finished that one, I'd close down the one lane, tidy it up nice. And then in summer, you can have 2 lanes or whatever. And they'd have to do that bridge just out of town towards Whiri, and that Bailey Bridge, the one that was closed quite a lot. That's just an old farm bridge that they've renoed. Like, surely they could just build a new bridge next to it. So they don't have to rip down a perfectly good bridge. They just build a new one. They could build it in the paddock right there and literally drop it in probably. It'd be a quick job, and you don't have to close the road, because the one thing they can't do is close the road. Especially all the businesses that have been through tough times.
We've talked to that before on the show, and I've said it before, just build another bridge.
Exactly.
That's what they did at Kopu, eh? They just built another bridge next to the old bridge.
Yeah.
Also, the one-way bridge, it helps you, like when it's busy and nobody can pass to the other side.
Well, the other thing is, I don't think some people want to stop because they've been sitting for 2 hours in their car. So people say, "Oh yeah, you're against the bridge." I'm like, "No, well I'm actually not, because I don't like my customers have to wait 2 hours and then try come in and wait another half an hour because we're busy for food." I want them to be relaxed, like stopping into Tairua to check it out, not going, "Oh man, I was in the car for an hour." Like kids, they're thirsty. They might not have packed water. Their aircon might be broken. Middle of summer, 35 degrees. Like, temps are only getting hotter, man. Like, people can't be sitting in cars.
The UK is going through something at the moment. Heat wave, 40 degrees, man.
In the UK.
It's hot.
People are dying.
I've been seeing, like, stories and that from a fella that lived in Tairua recently. Good mates with my brother, worked at his gym, helped him working. My brother's a roofer. Shout out to Coastal Roofing and Building. Shane Johnson. Played for Mercury Bay with Cody Miller and Connor and all them.
Cricket, or talking
won
rugby?
The comp.
Rugby.
He's got the tattoo, bro. He's got the tattoo. I listened to Miller's podcast on the way over, and Shane, my brother, he's got the tattoo because he come over up from Tairua and played for Whiri. He's got the tattoo. Not as messy as Cody's. Hey, his one's a bit out the gate, but anyway. So where was I?
Well, we've actually got quite a few more comments I want to run through.
Yeah, the bridge, We're stuck on the bridge and skate park probably for the rest of the podcast.
We've solved it.
I'll come back
next to it, How good,
Just build another bridge next to it. Done.
Yeah, and then if you even just want to leave one open in the winter,
hey, Johnny, why you don't run for mayor, man? We need.
Oh, bro, I'm honestly too keen on going fishing when it's flat. Like, if I'm mayor and it's flat and I want to go out for a fish. Like, at least at the shop, I can make sure I got enough staff on and still go fishing.
I do believe the mayor is still going fishing when it's flat, man.
I'll still keep my phone on me, but can't guarantee I'll be in reception because I'll probably be about 80 nautical miles off the back of Mere Island. So I go to the spot, right, and I get there, and the only thing I can see is White Island. And I go there by myself in a 5-metre boat, so it's pretty intense, but I love it, Now I don't have rugby. I need that. I need something to be able to go, and I love teaching my family and friends and, like, kids, like my daughter, how to fish. I love, bringing fish in. I give it a lot to old people around town who don't go out fishing anymore because they're too old. I've started doing deliveries for old people. Some people can't leave home. They're very... if they get COVID, it could be very bad for them. So just like looking after the community as well. Like along with our fundraisers, we did the one for the local emergency services. We did for Breast Cancer Week, we did a big fundraiser and we based it on Matariki. So like each food was like represented one of the stars from Matariki, which is the Māori New Year, which this year was amazing because it was the first year that they had a public holiday for Matariki. And my partner, Betty May, who's the manager of Johnny's Tairua, she is the local Māori teacher at our school. She helps them with kapa haka, and she teaches the kids te reo Māori. So she has had these awesome ideas, and she had the knowledge behind her. Like, she's fluent te reo Māori speaking, amazing lady. I'm a really lucky guy. If you're watching, babe, cheers. But like, yeah, she did this. She's an amazing baker. Like, she bakes the most amazing things. Like, she did homemade brioche donuts with salted caramel, cupcakes. Like, awesome. Like, and based all on Matariki, and we fundraised like over $1,000 for breast cancer. That just doing it that morning, that bake off, and doing stuff like that. Like Johnny's Tairua, our takeaway shop. We're not just about ourselves. We think about the community. Think about, you know, people that haven't got it as easy as us. Like, we're lucky, we live in a beautiful place, we've got a business. Some people, you know, they're going through a lot. Like, we all know someone who's been affected by cancer, you know, and it's hard, and it never sometimes works out great. Like, we've lost a lot of whānau. Like, you know, we all know someone, and to just be able to give back to, you know, those breast cancer awareness, Pink Ribbon Day, like, how good. Mental Health Day, the league do it now with the beanies. Brain cancer awareness, they wear beanies, they run out on the field. Like, all those things, you know, like, is part of having a local business to...
It's your responsibility to support your community.
Yeah, and, like, hats off to my partner, Betty May, for really driving that. Like, I've been lucky to be, you know, have my vision widened by her being such an amazing person, to helping all the kids at school learn te reo Māori, to spending her time teaching the kids kapa haka. You know, she doesn't get paid for that. She does it out of love, and a lot of people in our community do stuff like that. They don't just think about themselves, you know, and I just feel like
I'm a terrible human right now. I really should do something for the community.
Well, mate, you know, you might do other things, Coast you know, you might help out family, whatever.
I don't like water.
Maybe you don't have a business, you know.
Don't like fire.
You're doing stuff now, like you're on the podcast with us.
I just want to bring a topic again.
Yep.
Just change the topic, sorry.
Yeah.
It's just a little bit polemic because you said something here. I'm just going to put a little bit of a fire.
Yeah?
Yeah, man.
You said about the sport fishing, right?
Yep.
And it was actually a little bit of debate around because
I heard that. Yep. With Tom Maxwell doing the scholarship. Yeah, you know.
But it's not even. I don't even want to talk about that.
Yep.
My thing's a little bit. More.
Nah, go ahead, man.
I don't know much about fishing because I came to New Zealand and I've been fishing probably for 2 years or so. So I'm.
Well, I need to take you out, brother.
I'm like a newbie, but I heard a lot about, like, for example, the marlin. The marlin fishing. I heard a lot that. I don't know, I've never been fishing marlin, but I heard that the size of the fish is dropping big time, you know, like if you go
they're actually, like, a striped marlin, like, they actually grow really quick. They're matured within, like, 3 or 4 years. I don't think the size is dropping. It looks to me like they're going up.
Oh, really?
The fishery's actually in a great spot because a lot of people got their eyes on it, and they're making decisions where, you know, like, they're actually trying to improve it. And you know what you have with a debate over whether fishing, you know, this and that, and can be, I guess, the debate like you've got in your community at the moment. I think what comes out of it is actually look at the cold, hard facts and speak to different people and then make an informed decision on how you should move forward with stuff like that. But to be honest, as a fisherman who fishes out here a lot, I don't think there's... I think the fishery's in a real good position, and that people are bringing to light a lot of the things that aren't going too well, which is good. Hey, you need... you know, the problems. They need to be brought forward, boom, to the communities. Stuff happens. People do stuff to... combat what's going wrong, what's going right. We're all learning. Hey, we're all.
Well, you need the critics and you need that sort of shit. You need
bro. Because
I mean, if you don't
I'm
address
the same
it,
with
like
the shop, you know.
Before when I'm like going on about crayfish, for example.
Yeah.
If you don't have someone like me butting heads with someone like you about crayfish, then we're both. Nothing goes anywhere, you know what I mean? Like, so I need to go.
Like, I like guys like that.
I need to go, bro, maybe we should hold off on crays for a while.
Yeah.
And you give me a reason why you want them, and we go, okay, well, we need to come to a compromise then, right?
And you need to speak up, eh? Like, you know, like, you did it before, which was great. Like, you came in on my conversation about benefits and put through some real good information where I was sort of stuck in this zone.
I just made that up on this.
But you, like, you know, no, but it was good. Like, you broadened my horizon on what actually is going on and, like, had some real good points there. And the same with what you've said on the marlin fishing.
Yeah, I honestly, my
debate's awesome, bro.
My references are just pictures that I see on the internet, you know. So that's why I like to ask people who actually goes out. You know, like, because
bro, we're so lucky. Like, you ask all the local fishermen around Whitianga, you know, they go out, they have amazing opportunities to take people to experience one of the best days of their life. Like, when you catch an amazing fish and you bring that in and you take it and feed your friends and whānau or the community, like, that's great. And that might be the best day of your life when you catch a marlin, because it's so exciting, you know. And I guess it's the same with, like, why we play rugby, why we fish, why we play other sports. We're in it for that moment of having that end result of oh, got that big fish, or yeah, won the rugby final, you know.
Yeah, I finished a Sudoku.
Great.
It's a challenge for me.
Backgammon.
The hard ones. Oh, backgammon.
I'm on PS5, UFC, Call of Duty. Yep.
You know, backgammon was banned.
But no backgammon, cuz.
Backgammon was banned for a long time because of gambling.
Yeah, brother.
Is that the same when you say, like, oh, that there's a good vibe when you catch the fish and then you feed your family,
and you don't waste it? Yep.
Is that the same vibe when you catch it and release it?
Yeah, and a lot of guys do. Like, a lot of guys that fish out of Whitianga, 90% of their fish, like marlin they catch, they tag them. You look at guys that started that scholarship, like Tom Maxwell, you know, really been, you know, fishing a lot out of here the last 8 years. Like, he's released more fish than he's caught by a long shot.
But like that's what I find it interesting on the people who take it as a sport, because, like, I see the points of fishing and eating it.
Yeah.
But I don't like, and I get the scientific
like beautiful
research.
Fish, like amazing.
Yeah, but like the scientific research apparently, like, is 10% of the tagging that is actually done, and like probably 90% they only release. And so, that's when I get a little bit confused, because like, it sounds like a pleasure thing, but like the animal maybe is not enjoying that much as a sport.
Okay, I'll give you a scenario for fishing around our area. So we recently had this fishing sport nationals where it's probably the most game fishing boats that are serious about game fishing head out and fish the nationals. It runs for a week. Tom Maxwell, amazing, won the nationals for the first time any Coromandel Peninsula boats ever won the nationals. Like, shout out to Tom Maxwell, awesome achievement. He released all those fish. There was like 80 marlin caught out of Tauranga and like 68 were released. You know what I mean? Like, so you look at those stats where all those main guys that are actually good at it go out, they release most of their fish. You get guys like me, like, I go out not as much as them, but when I go out and get one, man, it's coming in the boat, coming home, it's going to feed my family, my friends. I will give that fish its full, like, I'll, you know, scrape the meat off the bone, smoke all the frames, like, bury the frame in the garden so it grows your veggies. Like, if you're doing that, yeah, sweet. There are some times when guys go out, catch a mean fish, and they might let it go rotten because they just care about weighing the fish and getting the photo. Nah, not many people are like that. You have to be quite lazy, quite unmotivated as a fisherman to do that. And when we go out fishing, man, how much money do we chuck back in the community? Go down to the local service station, buy all my gas, buy my lunch, whatever, you know. I'm buying, all that money is going back in the communities. Like, you imagine with Whitianga with no boats.
Yeah, the problem on fishing is definitely the big nets, you know, like when you get these big
ships, bro. Ban Pasanas. Like, the net fishermen ban. It should all be long line. Should all be hand caught, like by a hook. When you net, you can take all the babies, you can get dolphins, you can get whatever, you can harm it. even scallop dredging, which they've trying to stop. Like
it should be banned.
It's not good as well.
Well, they're saying that it wrecks. There's a massive debate on that. They're saying it wrecks the bottom when they drag those big things. There's guys that say, nah, it doesn't do it.
Have you been diving on a spot that's just been dredged?
I have, yeah. I've done a lot of diving.
Fucked up, eh?
Yeah, but then there's a for and against here. Like there's guys that obviously made all their money dredging for scallops, so clearly they don't want them to go. But I just think there's other ways. We're 2022 now. Like, you know, we're ready to move to more innovation.
Yeah.
I had a look in a small video popped up on my Facebook not long ago. Guys putting cray pots with like nets with disco lights and like a little door, and the scallops were going in at night in the disco light, so they were catching their scallops.
They're partying.
They like the light.
Party before they die. Yeah.
Enough on that. That's the secret.
I don't see why you can't dive for scallops anyway.
Yeah, like
we do for power or whatever.
The commercial guys, I've heard firsthand, it's not viable for them. They can't.
Oh, tough
well,
shit.
Comparing
the government should buy
now is not. You know what I mean? Comparing with the amount of money they're doing, they're raising the bottom of the sea. Of course, it won't be viable. You know, like.
And there's other, like, the people that are against dredging, they're saying, like, a lot of the information from NIWA, which is the main surveyor, they're actually saying that it's quite healthy out here, some of them. Like,
but that's the thing, you guys both.
Well,
yeah, I don't know. It's a hard one, because do we really know the cold, hard truth, or are we just guessing and debating?
That's really interesting that you say that, though, because... we don't know the cold hard truth, eh? We've got two different sides.
We get wrapped up in cotton wool. They don't tell us a lot. I've heard a lot from many different people, and I actually firsthand know a lot of the guys that, you know, are commercial fishermen, and a lot of them do have really good information that a lot of us don't know as well. Like, I used to be so hard against some things, and now I've gone, well, now I've heard their story, I'm not really, you know, as...
It's very hard, though... okay, let me rephrase that. I find it very hard, though, to be on the side of destructive commercial fishing. Like...
Yeah, no, we don't want destructive, man.
You know, like netting and things like that. Like, I'm like, okay, if you have to buy fish, if you have to buy it, you can't go out in a boat or whatever, and you really, really need it, like it's essential to your diet. I don't know why you would really, really need hokey, but it's okay. I get it. Some people need to buy it. End of story. Then we need to do it in a sustainable way, and if that sustainable way, in my opinion, isn't profitable, then the price of it needs to go up so that it is profitable.
So as...
in my opinion.
With Johnny's Tairua, with my takeaway shop at Tairua, I really, you know, I'd rather buy long line caught fish than Poseidon net caught fish. That's just a preference. What I'd like to see more is like local longliners out here that catch snapper. Maybe they give back some quota to some local guys for crayfish, so they can fish all year round and only just maybe have half a dozen pots out, not 100, and catch crays to bring to the wharf to sell to us for $30-40 what they send them to China for. But honestly, there's so much corruption in the fisheries in New Zealand. Like, I've talked to guys, good programs to watch is like quite a new doco that a local guy helped produce, Mike Barner from Tairua. Like, he's, you know, avid on sustainable. He's Clark Gayford's director, videographer. He has a lot of input. Like when some people from Auckland were coming out and catching all the pink mau because there was no limit, and taking them back and selling them in Auckland or doing whatever they do, it was unsustainable because they were just going to the reefs where the charter guys took them and just dropping like little hooks on electric reels and just slaying them and filling 10 chili bins. And that actually, because of that, they changed the laws, and now you're only allowed like your 10 or 20 pink mau, so they can't come do that. Like, so that was a drama happened. The whole peninsula knew about it, and it got fixed because the whole peninsula got together. Good to see, like,
moved in a
guys like
direction,
shout out to Mike Barner, like recently brought out a book too with Clark Gayfer, like awesome knowledge on the ocean, done a lot in the islands, and you know, a great guy. His wife Olga, she's a photographer too, so if you ever need a photographer for a wedding, hit up Olga Barner.
So just in terms of there's so much debate,
yeah,
but it almost seems like it's the exact opposite. There's zero proper debate.
Well, like, that's what we need, eh? Like we know.
If we had 2 pro, 2 against, say, on a show like this,
and
where
figure out
here is exactly what I believe is the case. Because everyone can say, oh, there's sides, but there's no side because there's no frame for it to be seen as sides. It's simply someone over there says something, someone says something else.
So you know, like
how do I know?
There's always rules in New Zealand and they change. So like what you said, I'd get 2 for, 2 against, and someone level-headed like Richie McCaw, who's the All Black captain, to sit there and you all put your stuff on the table and all the scientist evidence, and then they make the decision because they've got a normal mind where they're not corrupted by money.
Someone that's neutral. Who doesn't need
someone
money.
that's neutral that doesn't need money, because at the end of the day, like when those big decisions gets made in Parliament, it's all about money sometimes, so not the right decision always gets made. And it's the same with lower levels, with commercial fishing, with all of that. I mean, I've heard guys that have got years of experience and they go, man, the system's corrupt. And I'm like, oh. And then you hear little things, you know?
All right, well, Johnny, I really want to see, because we've got some fans that are sending in messages to you, and I want to get to them because our audience are precious to us.
Fans?
Yeah.
Well,
shout out to the fans. Thanks for watching.
I say precious. I care very little about any of them, including Dwayne Doom. So, Johnny, do you have any plans to expand the business, maybe at Johnny's in Whitianga? Thanks, ALTBAYS. So, you're welcome,
Yeah, so
Johnny.
we love Whitianga. Like, we come up here a lot. We've actually looked at moving up here eventually. Like, it's good school, like, you know, businesses, and yeah, would love to start a Johnny's up here. Would love to we're looking at maybe possibly, if we were going to do that, come up with like maybe rebrand, like keep that same, but like
Betty May.
Something like Betty Mays, because she makes all the food.
That's a nice name.
Yeah, but no, we're probably like thinking something along the lines of like Karaoke, and really putting our aroha love into stuff that we love and stuff that the community can enjoy at a good price, like, you know, and some healthy options too. Like, we want you to be able to come in and go, bro, I want a dairy-free whatever, and I can go,
dairy-free pizza.
You got it, man.
It's actually not that bad. I actually had a pizza from, help me out.
Down here, Luke's Kitchen.
Slice Baby.
We were going to buy that. We were looking at buying that shop and opening a Johnny's.
Pizza is absolutely, the vegan
They're
cheese.
awesome. They've done a great job.
Extra meat, but dairy-free cheese, delicious.
And they do their pies, like their...
their little cabinet food.
You get cheese if it's dairy-free.
So they do like mean dessert pies too. Like, yeah, so we were looking at, funny you said, at buying that shop and starting another Johnny's up and possibly moving up and either closing that down or keeping it running. But Whitianga's got, like, I guess a little bit more opportunity for young families. It's got the supermarkets. It's got things for the kids, dance, bit more sports going on, netball. Yeah, athletics, in Tairua we're limited. Gymnastics. We don't have a skate park.
Don't have a high school.
Don't have a high school. Don't have a... You guys have got 2 shopping, New World, Countdown. You got a warehouse.
And a
you got placemakers. Some people use the Foursquare.
Everything's overpriced.
I hope they drop their prices.
Because we've got another comment here from George Smith. It's got 3 H's, so I'm just going to roll with it. Mate, my mouth is watering just hearing Johnny talk about his menu, and I'm definitely going to try it out this weekend. So
Thanks, brother. Yeah, it'd be great to see you. Come on down, and I hope you enjoy a meal at our place. And we're always working hard to provide a great service. And
do you recommend drinks with something orders?
Like man. Like we do. Some people said we do the best shakes. So we put a lot of ice cream in there, man. We put a lot of ice cream in. We use the longest drink in town syrups. They're fan favorite. We all know that. Right? The giraffe ones, man. You used to get those cups like that. We serve them in a different cup.
Is it recyclable?
It is recyclable.
There you go.
Yep, of course. All our packaging's recyclable. And man, like come in. Sometimes we The pie cabinet might be smashed from the brother Brett. But yeah, you know,
I'll vouch for your food. For
our
sure.
burgers and tacos, man. Like, yeah, like that's
what's the best time of day to get in? If we wanted to come and get in a fresh pie, what o'clock is pie o'clock?
Oh, so like we open up at 9 and we like to have our pies in the oven ready to go. So the staff are in there, like Betty May's in there early in the morning. Sometimes she gets up at 5. Goes down
so 9
there.
a.m. you can guarantee a pie. Betty May, pie
Yeah,
me,
man.
pie me.
Yeah, man. And we want to become more consistent now that we're growing, that people are loving our kai, people are traveling. Like, we appreciate that. And, like, I am working hard to give you that good food at a better price. You know, at the end of the day, it's a business and I've got to make money, but I also want to... Like, sometimes people come in and, like, I chat to them and get to know them, and I pretty much end up shouting most of their food. Like, they don't even know, but I'm, like, typing it in, like, giving them mad discounts on that and that. And I guess, like, it's, when you hear, like, that they've driven from Hamilton or they've driven from Whangamata,
I've been just thinking about that.
And yeah. But
those people
definitely.
that commute from Hamilton, if you came to Whitty, it's now a real commute. You're now a solid 6 hours commute. If they're coming here to get your pies.
Bro, 80% of our customers are commuters like yourself. You stop in when you go to Hamilton from Whitianga sometimes. Like, awesome, man. Like, we love people like yourselves because, like, Tairua relies on that through traffic. Imagine how smooth it would be with a 2-laner.
And we link it back. Hey, there's a question about pies.
Brett would be like, bro, I'd get to my jobs like half an hour quicker in summer.
There's a question relating to pies here from another one from Chloe here. Johnny, are you keen for a kinna pie?
Bro, kinners are mean. Like, Māoris love kinners. Some people that just love kinners. But the kinners are awesome. But I don't know about a pie. I reckon, like, kinna pots. But I don't like selling stuff that's been in a plastic pot for a few days. But I guess, like... It's something we could do. Like, some people love kinners, and yeah,
it sounds like
maybe if we could buy them, can do kinner, yeah. Or if you're selling kinners and you want to, you know, put them in our shop, yeah, sure, come and sell them to me, and I'll give it a go. But that's what we want to do with the shop. Like, obviously, it hasn't been easy because hospo can be real hard sometimes. But
and you just had 2 years.
Some days, you know, like, in busy summers, like. I'd walk out of that shop after doing like a 16-hour shift without a break. My breaks are going to the toilet. I'll eat on the run. I'll be limping out of that shop. You know, my cleaner might have called in sick, and like some nights I'd be there till 1 in the morning, and I would have been there from 8 in the morning. And
well, Elon Musk says that's what you got to do if you want to have a strong business.
And we kept on. Like we brought in coffee. We do Supreme Coffee, which is a great brand out of Auckland, and they do an amazing job. They've got great beans. We've got top of the line $20,000 coffee machine. Woo. So we offer a good coffee. Like, we do everything: coffee, tea. We do iced chocolates. Betty May makes the most amazing iced chocolates. Like, if you ask for a frappe, bro, she'll make you a frappe that's better than Starbucks. Like, honestly, like, that's more stuff we want to do.
Is anybody a fan of Starbucks?
No.
Oh, Starbucks is good, man. Like, people...
Starbucks can eat it, mate.
Well, they're yeah, venti, bro, venti. No.
Fair enough. Hey,
venti size.
I've got one last thing here from an audience member who's... I probably don't need a name, but there's a... You mentioned earlier about the skate park and about playgrounds, but there's a business venture that's been mentioned, in case you're interested in getting in on it.
Yeah.
How about a Johnny's bowling alley, skate and bowling alley?
Well, fancy you say that because the workshop just next to my shop was for sale, and it's big enough if I really wanted to and had the money to expand, I could put a drive-through and a bowling alley. I was thinking more a time zone for the kids, so when it's raining, they've got something to do.
How good's time zone?
Like, you know...
Some arcades as well.
Arcades, bro. Like,
3 lanes.
Kids deserve having that. Like, I took my little girl, Adia, to Hamilton.
Time zone? Is it still there?
And we stopped at Time Zone right next to the bakehouse where you'd always go after a big night on the sauce, you know. And me and my partner took her in there, had a ball, you know.
Did you literally have a ball and you try to race all the little mini basketballs? I did.
I had a ball. I hit the hoops, mate. I played the bloody squirt fish game, everything, mate. I was into it.
Is it still attached to the McDonald's?
Nah, bro. Nah. There's Starbucks down the road, but you don't care about that. So all good.
Used to be a McDonald's when I was a kid that was attached to the time zone.
There's a Macca's down in the food court though, bro. They do a good butter chicken too. So
they do butter chicken. McDonald's butter chicken.
Bro, Shemania, those butter chickens in the malls. Good. Oh, okay. So this is another thing we might bring out at Johnny's Tairua. So we're at home. So this is where we get a lot of inspiration from. Like I'll go out diving and fishing, come home, and Betty May will cook up an amazing feast, like with the fresh seafood. So, but anyway, so that's where we get a lot of our inspiration. But I was like, oh, babe, we should do our own butter chicken pie, like homemade, authentic. And you know when you go in the mall and you get that butter chicken in the malls in Hamilton, Auckland, and it's like so nice and orange and just nice. Like a lot of people froth on it. Like putting that butter chicken into pie. So we've been like refining the recipe at home, and she made me she got all the stuff and she found the recipe on TikTok and she made the butter chicken, bro, and it was mean.
Well,
like,
people dance.
If she puts that in our pastry and we do butter chicken pies, like you guys all need to stop for a butter chicken
Johnny,
pie. I'll let you know. Keep an eye out.
How was it? Like you met her and then you fall in love and then you figure out she was a good cooker, or she cooked for you and you were like,
so our first date, bro, our first date was out on the boat. I took her out on the boat. We went up towards Whitianga from Tairua. I jumped in, spared some fish because I'm a spear fisherman. Spared some fish, got some crayfish, and I brought like a cooker and some salt and pepper and oil and some taco shells and some slaw, and we made like homemade like crayfish tacos and fish tacos on the boat. So
that's a first date.
Yeah, how good.
What was the second date? At home, nachos on the couch.
You know what the second date was.
Bro, I've got a big deck at my house, like and a big spa pool, you know. We're in the spa, like, you know, I've got the lounge set up and a big window that opens up, and I've got my TV on the wall so I can sit in the spa and game or watch sport. It's awesome, man. Like, I bought my house in Tairua when I moved back from Australia, and luckily, like 7 years ago, it was only like 300k. Now, holy man, how do you I feel sorry for young ones trying to get a house, man.
Not even try, mate.
It's just hard, eh? Like, but yeah, luckily to have a good spot there, like right in front of the rugby field. And
it's interesting you just said that about the young ones. I realised we've got a young Hector just chilling out here. He's been helping a bit of the tech. Hector, what would you want to do if you're driving to Hamilton or you're driving to Raglan? It's in the evening time. Would you want to stop off? Johnny's going to have a burger, maybe some fries, have a thick shake, the thickest real ice cream thick shake. What would you want to do? Do you want a time zone with games or shooting activities, racing cars? Or do you want a bowling alley? Do you want, I don't know,
do you want to stop and listen to like live music played by Johnny?
What do you want? What do you want? You're 13, 14, 13?
I just want the food.
You want the food?
Yeah.
No entertainment.
Come on, entertainment, man.
Probably like the bowling alley would be actually fun because you can do like gaming and stuff elsewhere, but the bowling,
yeah, okay, yeah, like even if it was like a 2 or 3 laner, eh, bro? Just saying, like, you know,
3 lanes and 20-minute rounds. Make it less so. You get like seven bowls each to try and make it fit within the window of waiting for food, then eating.
Yeah, man.
Get a bit of flow
I was always like contemplating because I remember back in the day when it used to be a fish and chip shop. Our shop had a Street Fighter machine, and I actually got one priced up a while back. So there's a guy in Auckland that makes them, and they're awesome, and they've got like all the Street Fighter games and other games. Like you can get 4-on-1, or you can just get a 1. I was thinking about making my own sodas, getting rid of the drink fridge, and dropping a Street Fighter machine there. It would probably go down a treat for the young ones and like probably flick me a few coins.
You would confuse the kids.
I wouldn't have to go to the bank for my goldies, bro. My gold coins. I'd be able to take them straight out of the Street Fighter machine, bang in the till, boom.
I was going to say, you confuse the kids, but like, why can't we change the game? Like just
I'll just yell at them, bro. Push the button, man.
Get out.
I want Time Crisis.
Young kids, bro. How good are they at technology, though? Like, they leave my old man... You know, they're just onto it.
I don't know. I'm not sold on that principle. I'm really not sold on kids being amazed at technology. Kids are growing up with technology. Does it all for them.
Yeah, true. but then they know how to use it, and then they teach the old people.
Yeah, I know, but it's like trying to teach someone how to use a phone. What do? You get it out and you press OK. It'll do all the startup and setup for you.
Yeah.
And then you simply
Depends,
tap someone's
bro.
name.
Not my Nokia 2280 brick.
You still have it?
Shout out to
way.
Snake too.
Indestructible.
No way.
Man, I remember, you'd play Snake on your old Nokia phone, and like your Snake was so big, you like had no more room. You're like, where do I go? Was that one of your sounds or one of mine? We'll leave it at yours.
Oh, beautiful. I was wondering to go to Brett. Is there any angles you want to take? Anything we haven't taken through so far in this conversation? Any places you want to take this man here?
No, I'm good. Oh, yeah, maybe go out for a fish.
Yeah, well, honestly, man, like, you guys are my friends now. If you want to go fishing, come hit me up, man. Like, I love taking people out and showing them how I, like, enjoy the ocean the way I do. Like, so much love for the ocean. I guess that's why it's so great to be living in the Coromandel Peninsula, eh?
Probably should have asked what's your boat, what's your vessel?
Oh, impulsive. So I've got two boats. I've got a launch called Izzy B. That's a 32 footer, 32 foot. It's built out of Cody, so carry trees, and it's beautiful old boat. I've actually been doing it up. It's actually a work in progress. I spent a bit of coin on it, and I sort of had to not focus on that so much and go back and finish my house because I was falling behind on the house trying to finish the boat. But I used my 5.6 metre Buccaneer. It's got a 4-stroke on the back. I can fish anywhere out here. I can go miles out. I go further than most launches go. And I do what I do, and I love it. And, I catch blue nose, harp hooker. I've caught tuna. At the moment, I've been going out and trying to catch bluefin because they're running up the coast, and just bringing that fish home and preparing it for my family and giving some to my old neighbors and my aunties and my uncles, like just sharing it around. And I guess we're lucky to have it, to be able to go out there and catch a fish. And it's what I got brought up doing, and it's what I love to do.
Sweet. And in terms of your rugby life, so you've retired from active playing with your legs.
So I went through St. Paul's. I was lucky enough, I played in the Waikato teams and then won that championship.
Strike three,
bro, I'm gone. Drum roll, eh? Anyway, so I ended up down in Dunedin after my first year in Waikato. I got picked up by Otago under 21s came up to play Waikato under 20s, and I played that game, started at prop and got player of the day, scored a try, had a pretty good game.
You get a little green, like,
I scaled a beer after the game and I actually got a little trophy with that day. And I was after the game, I was having a chat with one of my good friends who played for them, who ended up playing over 100 games for the Highlanders, Tom Franklin, awesome rugby player, played with him all through school. He's over in Japan now, doing really well, playing in Japan, as you can imagine. He was there, Tony Brown was there, like a couple of the Otago coaches, and I just had a chat, like Waikato hadn't signed me on or anything, and I wanted to push my career further, so I was lucky enough to sign a contract with Otago and went down there and did a season, played in the development team and played a pre-season for the number 1 team. I was only 19 at the time, and I was a bit, as you do when you're in Dunedin, you just want to party. It's such a cool vibe down there, man. Like 660 obviously like really put it on the map, but the vibes down there, man, like you have a great time. You play great rugby.
The Dunedin music scene's been at least 50 years.
So I went down there, I still did my music. I was playing at bars. I was living in a flat. I trained full time, had a good season. And then from there, one of my friends was playing in Australia in Sydney for a club in Balmain. And there, the president of the club, he ran the whole rugby club, and he owned a big hotel. And he wanted a front rower with good experience. So my friend actually put me onto him, and he rang me up, and he's basically chucked this contract on the table for amateur rugby that I couldn't turn down. Oh, yeah, went over. He paid for everything, set me up with a job. I did, 3 seasons for that club. We won 2 premierships in 3 seasons. There's a lot of other Kiwi guys, like I think 15 out of 22 of our players were from New Zealand. It was a little bit more amateur, but still high level. Like, there were other guys in other clubs getting paid too. So there were some great players. Like, those games were some of the most physical games I've ever played, and I've played quite physical in New Zealand. And
so when did you call it quits? So you're in Aussie 3 seasons, and you came back into Johnny's, right?
Came back to Tairua, did a season for the Valley, for Thames Valley Swamp Foxes. Yep. At the end of that season, I obviously had played for Tairua that year, and then after that season, Tairua was sort of struggling for players, and I was I'd played, like, I'm quite a, like, emotion, like, when I play rugby, like, I'm, into it, and
ready to
I get aggressive, like, yeah. And I think just, like, as I was getting to, like, 26, a lot of those injuries that I just, completely just nailed myself, I hadn't got right, and they just started catching up with me. And my life wasn't actually, I knew I wasn't going to be an All Black now. I was happy with my rugby career. I played with some awesome players. I propped against a lot of All Black props. Like, I propped against Tuangavasi, Tuangavasi. I propped against him about 4 or 5 times, because through the age groups, he was the same age as me. And Nepo Laulala, he was at counties. So Waikato, we play Auckland and counties a lot. So I actually got to, come through and play against great players and win a few championships. Like, I'm content with my rugby career, and I just moved on to more like family life, fishing, setting my house up, setting my business up, having that awesome whānau connection, and, my partner Betty May and my daughter Aria, like, best things in my life, like, and my parents got such a good support crew. My family own businesses in Tairua.
That's right, yeah.
My brother owns a gym. My sister owns the fish and chip shop. And my mum and dad own the cafe and bar across from me. It's like, we're close.
You're
and
pretty bloody settled now.
Yeah, nice and settled. And, sometimes as a young person living back in a small community, it can be a little bit hard with not so much opportunities for your family and that, but I guess you make it work, and there's always room to improve and room to change. Like, we're never set and have to stay in one place. You know what I mean?
When your girl's a bit older, would you be keen to get into coaching with the younger kids in
so
town,
I've been coaching her soccer team. Like, she's loving her soccer. I've come up and played games at the park down here. And I actually really have a great passion for it. I think just once I get my ducks in a row with, like, my house finished and my business running good, so everything's smoothly, then I can branch off and start helping more people. But I think you can only help others so much while you're trying to get yourself set up. Like, you want to help people, and some people can get caught up helping other people so much they never happy themselves because they haven't sorted their own stuff out that they're trying to get done. So I think a big part of me is trying to finish what I've started, like, get myself relaxed in my business and my home, and then take kids out fishing that have never learned how to fish. Like, I'm lucky I took a kid out who had cancer, which was really moving for me, and we went out and he caught a John Dory, he caught a snapper, he caught a teriki, like a tarakihi. Like, he'd never heard of those fish, and, like, got the photos and that, and, like, he was stoked, like, things like that. And I took out a boy who loves fishing. This kid's amazing. Like, he's moved from America to Tairua through COVID, and he loves fishing. He's written, like, a manual on how to come to Tairua and a kid to fish off the local wharf, like, what you need to do, like, how cool's that? He's only, like, 10 years old. So I said to his dad, like, man, like, come out, well, I'll take you out. Like, their family's amazing. Like, when we had, like, real tough time in our lives, like, they were the first ones to like donate money, and you like, you know, they were just awesome, and just to like sort of give back to them a bit, and like take their boy out fishing who loves fishing so much. And I took him out to this place. So it's like, it was a nice flat day, so I took him out like 45 minutes on the boat to get there, going quite fast, like 50 kilometers an hour, 25 knots. And we got out there and we dropped all the gear, and like boom, had kingfish on, and we caught like all these fish, and like to see his face, you know, like it was like the best day of his life.
You threw out that manual, started writing a new one, how to catch a kingfish.
But like, you know, just little stuff like that. And I guess like taking kids out and showing them how to, because they live in Tairua and grow up, but their parents might not know how to fish or how to dive. Just maybe like doing more of that, like helping the community, keep doing our fundraisers. Obviously, I'm a lucky man with Betty May, because she's...
I said, Johnny, you're a bloody nice man. Fuck, I like you.
Well, I like you guys too, but I guess like you've only got one life, eh? You've got to, do your best and be happy and positive, because it's easy to be negative, eh? Like, you know, there are times in my life when I've been negative, and I'm like, you know, it's not me, you know? So, like, why waste your time being negative? And,
I like that message.
Shut out the outside noise and, be happy, like, you know, live, laugh, have fun, look after your family, look after the, you know, even like with the shop, like we're looking at doing more healthy food, because we want people to be able to come in and eat healthy. Like, you want to get a fried chicken salad, bro, like not much carbs in there, get a fried chicken salad. You just like, all our slaws dressed with our house-made mayo. Like, it's not that bad. It is made with canola oil. Like, but if you have like a salad with fried chicken and canola oil made mayo, it's not actually that bad than having a massive fried chicken burger. You still get all that flavor. And the other thing is, we do lettuce wrap burgers, so you can get your bun and swap it for. And the other thing is, we've had a lot of gluten-free people coming in, and we've got amazing gluten-free buns. It's sometimes hard to look after people who are celiac, because we've got so much gluten in there that I don't really want to risk. Like, so we are looking at options where we have like a separate little cooker, so if someone comes in that are really allergic, we can. No,
they can't. You can't do that, because you can get rid of the way for the Street Fighter then.
No. Street Fighter's staying, bro.
And the karaoke
I'm going to push the back out. No. I'm going to put the bowling alley in for our bro when he goes to Raglan. Street Fighter for you, dairy free. Taking Brett fishing.
I can eat everything. I just want a power.
Just pure milk over here.
I just need a power pie. I need to try this power pie.
I've just got to make sure.
You could.
Yeah, I've got to make sure that there's enough pies when the brother Brett comes through, that they're going to be in there, eh?
It's mainly for DT.
And the cream power and fry bread. That's the other thing. If you've just started watching, that cream power and fry bread that we do.
Get ready, man. These guys are going there on Friday, eh?
Yeah. Right. Keep an eye on our social media too, because we're always, you know, like Betty May's always posting and doing videos, and she's got TikTok called it's like Johnny's, it's the Johnny's Tairua like pies.
Yeah, that's TikTok.
Yeah, on TikTok, like she does videos.
Are there any other platforms we can find you
on? She does lives. Instagram and Facebook. We're always on. And yeah, if you've got any random question, just flick us a line. Like, if you want to know, like, you know, if something's there or when we're going to have it, like, but I promise, like, all the people that are supporting us, like, we're doing our best to make sure that we've got that kai there for you. It's just, as you know, when you go through and you start, a lot of people start coming in, like, it's hard to supply and make everyone happy. But if you miss out on your pie,
I think you have to
try
happy.
A burger or a taco. But yeah, we do want to make people happy. We do want to have a full pie cabinet.
Can you make a pie in a taco?
Bro, I've been doing like amazing things. So like, we do make our own homemade Big Mac sauce. We call it J Mac sauce, and it's mean. It tastes like Big Mac sauce but better. So we do like a Johnny Mac burger. We got a buttery brioche bun, 200% beef patties that we roll ourselves that are just meat. we use like a mean like American cheese. It's like melt in your mouth. It's like that yellow one, but it's nice when it's melted. So when we flip our patties, that cheese goes on that cooked side. So when it's cooked, it's just like boom. With our house-made J-Max sauce, all our onions are caramelized red onion. So with the brown sugar and the oil, like it's, you know, it's not just a bit of McDonald's.
Johnny, you know how to sell, man.
Fresh lettuce.
Yeah, I'm keen.
We do the Johnny Burgers double beef. It's got the streaky bacon, double cheese.
That's what I had.
Beer battered onion rings. Lettuce, tomato, brioche bun, mac sauce, smoky barbecue sauce.
Like you said before, when I come and I was like, can I make my own burger, please?
Bro.
And then I'll be like, can you choose exactly what goes in it? Can't be on the menu. Make it dairy free and you're going to build it for me.
Yeah, man, I'll build you a burger.
For him, man. He's gonna
and I will tell my staff that if someone comes in and wants to build their burger, especially if we're not run off our feet, like, you know, if you go like, sometimes it's hard, like my staff are in there getting hammered but like, and I'm out fishing. I've just got a marlin, but you guys getting slammed and nah. But hey, like, yeah, love to provide a good service. As I said, it's not always easy. We do make mistakes. We've had great reviews. We've had some bad reviews, and we always look at those bad feedback. We love feedback. Give us feedback. If you're not happy, I'd love to know. If you buy a burger and you're not happy, I would love to shout you your next burger and make it myself.
I wasn't happy with my last
sorry. Well, you're getting is.
I actually want to know: do you do that cream power and what's
fried bread?
Is it rewana? Is that what it's called?
It's fried bread, bro. It's not rewana. Rewana bread's something else. But yeah, the fried bread. So, as I said, my fiance Betty May hand makes this fried bread, puts a lot of love into it, and then she puts it in little balls and then deep fries it.
When
can you get that? Is that a like regular thing on the menu, or is that like?
Yeah, we're working on making it every day, but at the moment it's sort of keep an eye on our social media. But we're getting rid of pizza because we want to have cream power and fried bread and pies all the time. The pizza's like another section. It's not just the grill. Like, it's not the grill and deep fry. It's a whole other thing to worry about. I was lucky because all summer I had an Italian pizza chef that I was lucky to get. And he was amazing. He punched out so many pizzas at a really good quality. Then we lost him a few months ago.
Oh, bugger.
And I guess the stars are aligning where, you know, changes. No, he's all good. He's he's traveling a bit, and he's going to start up his own little bizzo on a pizza trailer. So good on him. Like, he's doing his thing, and yeah.
I just want to analyse that thing because we're pretty soon to go, but I want to know about how do you put love into your bread? Is it singing love songs? Is it a massage technique to?
It's a massage without doing too much, which I guess is
one of the keys to bread, getting it to shape itself.
Yeah, letting that yeast, like there's a lot of little key things there. Like, I've watched how to do it, but I'd still need a little bit more training.
Does she smile the whole time? So real love radiating.
It depends if I've got all my chores done, but like, yeah, as I said, I'm lucky that my partner's amazing at making her heritage food. Like, that's her heritage. She's a really proud Māori woman, talented. She's went to film school. She's a personal trainer.
You've put her on this. I've never met her. This pedestal she's on. She's incredible in every way. Like, wow.
Well, like she said, she did a post on her Instagram, and she's like reposted your guys' post and was like, I wonder if he's going to tell them I make all the food, or, you know, like having a dig. And I was like, of course I will. Like, you know, credit where credit's due. Hey, you got to give credit where credit's due. Like, I couldn't do this on my, you know, like, it's got that extra edge team now. Yeah, you need that team. Like, and even just having guys like yourselves to give us locals, businesses more exposure. We've been through a lot with COVID. Like, you know, you guys are doing a great thing here. Like, you bring people on and make their lives better and their family businesses better, and that's credit to you guys. You put in a lot of effort for this.
Well, we do this? Holy crap.
So if we can help grow your business, like,
you just put us on a pedestal.
Man, like, we've got like, our followers are starting to get more and more, and as you know, once you get to a few thousand, it can go boom a bit more. So I guess like other businesses helping other businesses. So with our followers, like helping you guys, like, man, listen to these guys' podcasts, like they're legit. And they put in a lot of effort. Like, look at...
It's a pretty nice studio.
Yeah.
We've got new little lighting, little tents over the lights. They're quite nice.
But yeah, I'd love to come back one day and do some music because, as I said, I'm a musician and I've done a lot of weddings and a lot of playing at bars on Friday nights and, yeah, got a massive list of songs. So if anyone needs a musician, I'm happy to work with you on what you can afford for a musician. And, yeah, I'll just do it because I love it. Like,
yeah, or we can afford, That's right, yeah.
Yeah, chuck us a couple of beersies and a slide Johnny burger.
I come here for the beer. It's pretty good.
Yeah. No, well, you guys have been great. Like, I'm glad you didn't give me another one because that was my second and I got to drive home. So, yeah, man, you guys are good. Like,
well, actually, back there,
you're looking after me.
Is there anything, boys, that we may have missed that you want to go over again out there?
No, I just want to say thanks, John. It's been a pleasure, man. So cool. We had pretty much 163 people tuning in. And,
that's awesome. Yeah,
the show, which is pretty solid. So man, appreciate it, and I'm sure we're going to start bringing more people.
Great, like
more people from Tairua.
Well, you guys, you've really made me feel comfortable, and I was a little bit nervous coming on the show, but getting here and hearing myself in these headphones has been a bit weird, but. Not used to that, but honestly, thank you guys, from the bottom of my family and my heart, like, thank you very much, and I'd love to support you guys, and do my best to, tell everyone.
Well, we're going to buy local, so.
Yeah, bro. Well, you do, man. You stop in, keep it dairy free, brother.
All right, well, cheers. Well, Brett, any final words to you?
Nah.
Just Johnny, make sure I have that free burger ready for you, cuz Johnny burger on me.
I'll pay, mate.
We're on. No, you're all right, bro.
All right, then, our beautiful audience, thank you so much for watching our podcast tonight. If you like the show, please subscribe if you haven't already. That ALTBAYS Clips, that's only got 300 subscribers, and it's got all the best bits, including him saying some rude words before. It's really cute. Yeah. So have a lovely night. Thanks for watching. Enjoy yourselves. Ka kite anō.
Nā mihi.